Yo, 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 yo. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to Let's Chop It Up. Please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Please like and subscribe and also comment. Thank you for welcoming us to our first Wednesday night starting at 9 o'clock. For every Wednesday from now on, we'll be coming on at 9 o'clock and you can chop it up with us. So, fellas, what's going on, man? How was your weekend? What's up, Rod? How was your weekend, bro? I mean, no, there ain't no weekend no more.
No.
That was Sunday. That was Sunday. That was a Memorial Day. How did that work out or something like that?
No, everything good, man. Everything good. I got caught slipping. I had a little doctor's appointment this week.
Oh.
Nothing serious. Nothing serious. Just a regular check. Just a regular checkup.
Okay.
But I got caught slipping by the doctor. The doctor went to examine my ankles because if you got fluid in your ankles or whatever, they think there's something's wrong or whatever. Yeah. So they pulled my pants leg up, and I didn't put no lotion on, so they caught me slipping. Yeah, and the doctor said, "Oh, the ankles look good, but you have some excessive dry skin." I said, "Damn." So I forgot the lotion for the doctor's appointment, but other than that, everybody's good. Family's good. I'm glad we on Wednesdays. We got our weekends back. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm glad to be here with you fellas.
Yeah, what's up, Derik? How was the few days, man? Since the last time I saw you on here.
I had a good time, man. Celebrated my wife's 49th birthday with family and a couple friends, and we just kind of just chilled out, man, and enjoyed each other's, man, and enjoyed each other's company. I had to let go. I had to let go of Captain America, my trainer. I can't make. I'm too busy. I can't make any appointments. I started copy please and stuff. I can't make it. So I'll get back on the wagon another time, man. Probably give me a little break. Other than that, man, I'm just living life, man. Enjoying our Wednesdays. I would like to also, agree with Rodney, man. It's nice to have weekends back. You know what I mean? And but we still going to give y'all the same content, the same laughs, and the same entertainment, and the same intrigue as before. So I'm just happy to be with y'all fellas, man. So let's do it.
That's right. Kelvin, man, let's chop it up, baby. Yeah,
right. Let's do it.
Let's chop it up. Mugs brought to you by our dear friend Rodney Mitchell, the design. So if you want to get a Let's Chop It Up mug, please hit a like and subscribe for one thing, comment, but also hit up our producer Jamie or hit one of us up on the show. Please follow us, and we'd like to see if you take pictures when we want to post your pictures with us with the Let's Chop It Up mugs. Mm-hmm. Kelvin, how was your last few days since I saw you, my brother?
Yo, the day was good. Everything was good. I'm just maintaining out here. I've been trying to. I've been doing. I know Derik has inspired me about getting in shape. And so
there you go. There he goes.
Hey, man, we giving up everything, boy. Look, we giving up everything today.
On a Wednesday. So what I've done, I haven't started working out, but I've been doing mental reps. So I've envisioned myself working out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So my vision for working out is already ahead of my physical. Once the physical part catch up, then I'm halfway there. So right now, man, I'm doing push-ups right now as we talking. Right now, in my mind. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm a karate man. Karate man moves on the inside. You know what I'm saying? The week is good though. Everything is good, and it's great to see you on a Wednesday night. I just feel something in the air. We about to do it.
So let me. Cold Jam. What up, Cold Jam?
So Kelvin, you building your imagination. That's basically what you're doing.
That's what I'm saying. See, my muscles are internal. You see what I'm saying?
There you go. Okay.
They haven't manifested themselves yet. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
It's all internal. And then you get the experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So right now, inside, I'm swole up. I'm cut up on the inside. You know
Yeah, Kelvin, you like me. I'm a slim guy in my head. So it's okay. Like, long as I feel like I identify as a slim man.
Right.
Yeah. You identify as a slim man.
Me too, brother. Live your truth.
Somebody understands.
You know what I'm saying? The doctor told me I need to lose weight. I said I'm already slim. I knew I am.
How was your week, D? How was your week, man?
What's going on?
A few days. Listen, bro, I'm with y'all, man. It's only been a few days. My job is working me kind of hard the last few days with a lot of projects. But otherwise, I'm so happy to be on Wednesdays. Like Rodney said, like all you guys said, Derik, Kelvin, like having our Saturdays back is the best thing ever, y'all. Because it's like so many things to do. I don't have to worry about my son making noise while we're doing the show. So this is great. I love these Wednesday nights. And listen, we are the hump day kings, baby. We like to hump. We hump the women and we hump this work.
let me see. We made it. We made it a couple of minutes, right? We was good.
It didn't take long.
Come on, Jimmy, man. Only been on what, 5 minutes, man. Come on, man. Man, that's messed up, Jamie. I think he's my man. But listen, man, we got the chopping block. Our first Wednesday chopping block. First up on the chopping block is South Carolina governor signs a bill requiring death row inmates to choose the firing squad or the electric chair.
Damn,
that's some shit. Like pick your poison. But the reason why, I think because the pharmaceutical companies don't want to support this anymore of putting people to death with their medicine and stuff like that. But I can't believe we still having people go to death row. We want to be a civilized civilization. I mean, you guys' thoughts on that? I just can't believe we have the electric chair or getting shot.
Is that the reason you think the pharmaceutical companies are not making it anymore?
They don't. I mean, their name attached to something like this, and what do you think?
Okay, let's look at it like this, right? I think the last person they killed in South Carolina was like 10 years ago. So pharmaceutical companies ain't making no money off killing one person with a drug one time every 10 years.
Right.
You know me, D. You know I'll be thinking about that dollar. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it all comes down to. What they're gonna make? They're gonna make this lethal injection for like basically for what 1, 2, pushing it 3 lethal injections in 10 years. They ain't making no money. They stopped making it. That's why they stopped making it.
Yeah, that's resources they can push towards. Pushing towards a drug that they can just keep out to the world, man. Yeah.
Let them be able to give the lethal injection every single day and watch them start making it again.
Remember Robert Harris had that joke? He said they couldn't find nobody to kill people. He said they couldn't find nobody to pull a hand on the electric chair.
Yeah, he said he'll do it. He'll do it. He said he'll do it.
But I mean,
gotta go.
If you were in an unfortunate position of being in that situation, what would you choose?
Damn, man, don't matter.
That's an ill question.
I'll do the firing squad, bro. To be honest with you, I'm not sitting in the chair. I used to live in South Carolina where they did this. I lived around the corner from the place where they pulled the chair. Like I lived I forgot the name of the jail. I used to pass it every day. Jamie and I lived in apartments over there, and I'd rather go with the firing squad, bro. Get it over with. I don't want to be sitting in the chair. And every time they got to say they got to check you if you're there, give you some more juice.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
It's not an immediate death in the electric chair, and
man.
You literally smell a person cooking. From what I
understand. I don't want that, man. I don't want that.
I think I took the conversation down. Okay, I mean, my fault. I don't want to be cooking no brothers.
I know. I just man, it's a scary times we live in. I just kept. But the South is always going backwards to me. I swear to God. Now everybody getting guns. You can go get some blow pops and buy you a 38. And,
because everybody moving back to the South, so they're getting prepared. That's what it is.
Yeah. I'm not with this. I used to want to go back down south. I think I'm good here in this high tax bracket of New York City. I'll take my chances in East New York.
Yeah,
it's nice and safe, man. Right?
Yo, I'll be honest with you. The way some of the streets are, a lot of dudes is dying from the firing squad now.
Yeah, we had some wild shooting in Bushwick this weekend. I mean, yesterday, not this weekend. I gotta stop thinking weekend now since we're on Wednesdays and whatnot.
We gotta get ourselves together. We gotta stop killing each other.
Since we're talking about down south, critical race theory will not be taught in Texas public schools after Texas GOP passes a bill 79-65 banning the subject. Thoughts, gentlemen?
Texas again. Texas again.
The whitewash of white people history the history. Go ahead, Rodney.
No, the thing is, I really think that Texas is trying to become the racist capital of America. I think that's what they're doing. They're trying to get, the illest shit there. They don't want no gun regulations. They don't want no gun permits.
They top 5.
Yeah, no, I think they're top 3.
All right, where Mississippi at? We can't front on Massachusetts.
Massachusetts is the most northern South state we have. Straight races up there, man. But you saying something, right?
No, I think that they're trying to erase history. You know what I'm saying? They figure if people don't teach it, then basically it'll go away, and then basically I guess they'll feel like racism is basically normal in Texas. You know what I mean? But that's what they're trying to do. I mean, history's always shown that, white America is always trying to erase some sort of history, the negative history that this country does.
What's the most racist place you feel you've ever been in this country?
Me?
Yep.
Probably north of South Carolina. That's the furthest probably I've ever been.
Oh, that's the furthest you've been?
Yeah, that's the furthest I've been. No, you know what? I'm sorry. I've been to Georgia. Georgia. Yeah, that's the furthest I've been.
Okay.
I've never been to Mississippi, and I've never been to Texas.
Are you talking about reputation or actual?
No, that you feel like, you know, when you were there, you just knew you wasn't in Kansas anymore.
In other words, you felt the air was thick.
I'm probably the wrong one to ask because I grew up in Long Island, New York, bro, and I got some experiences. You know what I mean? Like
I did too, so that's a good point.
So I mean, by experience, New York. I mean, when I went down south, you know, they, you know, felt how they felt, but to me, you know, they didn't say nothing to me. I didn't have to say nothing to them. That was easy. It's walking around in New York, you know, being one of the first black families in the area on the block, you know, that I, you know, in the 70s, which was a real hassle, which was a real issue. You know, but I want to speak also to critical race theory. While we on it, though, it's also like I feel as though it's beyond just them just being racist. I feel like the play is to not have any critical thought regarding race whatsoever. You know what I mean? Almost like an out of sight, out of mind thing. Since critical race theory essentially teaches, like, you know, like race is sort of like a structural thing. You know, it's just part of American society. It's one of the pillars of our country. You know, we can't get rid of it. And I think that in that regard, they're just kind of trying to just take that whole conversation away. And I don't know where they're going with it. You know, it's easy to just dismiss it as say is a racist move and everything. And you know, everything I've seen, you know, it probably is. But I'm just trying to ascribe some sense of common sense to people who, you know, and people who just don't have it or something. I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of it in my own mind. You know, and we said with Boston, Boston. See, she grew up in, I grew up in the town built to keep,
Well, see, my mother was from South Carolina, and she said don't go to Boston, so I know it's serious. Let me tell you something. I drove to Alabama, played myself, drove through Mississippi at 4 a.m, and I said if I see some flashing lights behind me, I'm just gonna die. I'm not even gonna. I really felt if I saw like Mississippi burning that just come out, I was like I'm gonna die, and I cut through West Virginia for 15 minutes and got pulled over.
God damn.
3 black men in a Cadillac, and we got pulled over, and they had guns drawn, and they took us off the car, and they spread us eagle.
Yeah, I had the same thing done to me. I had it done in North Carolina to me. I lived in South Carolina for school, so South Carolina would say is racist as hell. Georgia, where we had I don't know if Jamie was with us. We stopped at this gas station one time, and they had the South of Ride signs, all these black people eating watermelons and shit like that. I knocked over the whole fucking count. It was the thing to hold up where you hold the deodorant on. I pushed the whole shit over. It was wild. But I don't know if Jamie was with me. I can't remember. This is a long time ago. And then and most racist spot also is Howard Beach, Queens. When I was in middle school, 1984, first time I ever got called nigga was in Howard Beach. I mean, my middle school 202 bathroom. We got chased home. And if Brad's on it, you know, people always got chased home and shit like that. So that was probably those 2-3 areas are the worst places I've ever been faced racism. Straight up.
You know, D, you remember I used to work in Howard Beach.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We got you got story.
Remember when I tell you the story about the Con Ed man?
Oh yeah. If we had more time, I'll tell you the selling story. I know we know Jamie Price, like we got to move on because I know if anybody, we might have some issues there because Jamie is living in whack ass Florida and he has some weather issues down there. So I'm just playing. Jamie, don't be mad at me. And these expressions are coming from me. I know you're about to put that up on me. Anyhow, speaking of racism and stuff like that in the South, Joe Biden went down to Oklahoma down there. It was a massacre of 107-year-old Tulsa race riots. 100 years ago, Tulsa. I don't say riots. I would say massacre. I want to say riots. That was the massacre of the people. We celebrate that yesterday. Any thoughts? Jelly, that's right. Tell them about that racist ass pizza over there. Killed Michael Griffin back in the day. Yeah, man. So Newport. That's it. You were officially an officer in that one. So they were racist as hell. They was racist as hell.
I worked there almost 10 years.
Wow. Yeah. So Anyhow, so go ahead, Derek.
Yeah, I mean, regarding the Tulsa race massacre and Joe Biden, as I understand, and I don't want to piss anybody else off, but it's just interesting. He doesn't have the greatest track record regarding race itself, man. In certain circles, you know what I mean. So I find it interesting. I also see that there seems to be a lot more traction for the idea of reparations, you know, and I feel as though like the ground is being set for something regarding that. You know what I mean? It's almost like we're getting a lot. You know, we get a lot of stimulus money. Money's flying everywhere. You know, people get used to getting the stimulus checks, the unemployment bonuses, and people are kind of more comfortable with the idea of getting paid for hardship. You know, I just kind of wonder where reparations is and what the end game is regarding, with relation to the powers that be. You know, with regard to the idea of reparations. You know, because you're starting to hear all these things about Tulsa and and everything that we're going. So I'm just interested. I'm just kind of watching the skies a little bit and just got my finger in it. Testing the winds a little bit, just trying to see what it is. So, past that, it was a terrible moment in our history. I shouldn't have had to wait until I was an adult to hear about it, and other similar massacres in our history. But it is where it is, it is what it is right now. So,
Well, you know what? I think Joe Biden is a tourniquet. I've been saying that. I just think every situation is just pretty much going to be pretty mild. And I think that's what it is. And I think he's in a situation where he's trying to always bridge the gap between two different areas. That's it. So I don't think it's anything transformative. I think some of these things are to placate people. And so, when I see Joe Biden, I don't think Joe Biden galvanizes anybody. I mean, I think what it was Joe Biden is a person that would like to draw some attention, but his legacy pretty much would be the person that just ended the Trump presidency. I think that's pretty much what it is. So I don't ever expect much out of him when he draws attention to a situation. I think it's just pretty much vanilla. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's anything against his integrity or his intent. I just don't think he's really transformative. I just think everything is just going to be pretty much a quick photo op and people will see it and recognize it, but I don't think anything will rally the troops.
So this is my thing with this, right? The Congressional Black Caucus went down there, and these motherfuckers went down there and started dancing, doing Soul Train lines with African beats. Where's the reparations at? Like, that's the conversation you had. Now Joe Biden talking about them have to wait. What? Like, James Bolden said, why do we always have to wait? Why do we always have to wait? Like, I waited for my kids, waited for my sister, everybody. We wait. We turn old and gray, and we don't wait. People die. Like, why we have those two? Let's get reparations for Oklahoma. Let's start with them alone, and then we could go for the rest of the nation. Like, why are we not having those conversations? This is why I'm not. And everybody know I'm not a Kamala Harris fan. I wasn't a really big Joe Biden fan, and it's just because of the same bullshit. The Asians got their shit first, and we always gotta wait. Why we have to wait? Oklahoma. Think about it. How many buildings destroyed? 100-something. Buildings was destroyed.
Yeah.
Why we not telling the people, like, whatever the land is worth, give them what the land is worth now, and because all those, you got universities, you got all the buildings built on top of that stuff like that. Give those people that money.
Yeah,
you got people that 107 years old. She's still waiting for reparations. 107. Right. Come on, man. Right. That's sad, man. That's sad. She got great grandkids still running around here. And she didn't get nothing. No question. And like that's like Joe Biden is a smoke and mirrors. I know everybody wanted Trump to be going there, so like, and Barack Obama too. I'm sad that this is the first president went to Oklahoma to admit this shit. We had a black president. This dude didn't even come on. Let's go down there.
Listen, Barack did what I needed him to do, which was not called, just look good and just be there and just for most of my children's, he was eloquent, man. He was well put together. He held himself with dignity. I was good. He didn't tear nothing up. I was good with him, but I didn't expect him to do anything. I'm be honest with you. And that's not letting him off the hook. It's just that he's a politician. And he's just the new face with the same playbook. Nobody's going to try. I keep saying it. president is like a quarterback, but the playbook don't change, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's the same playbook. They're not going to change it. They got the same team identity. You know, the Giants are going to run the football. You know, quarterback ain't going to be nothing, but we're going to run the football. That's what we do. You know, we run the football or whatever it is that we do. You know, all he can do is manage it. You know, and that's it. You know, maybe rearrange some furniture.
Coach Jan, what is BIPOC people asking for?
Yeah, people of color.
Black indigenous
people of color. That's what I get.
Yeah, that's what it was. I remember that. I forgot that in
Black indigenous people of color.
My social work class there. Yeah. So well, I'm sorry. You was about to say something, Rodney?
Yeah. I'm about to open the door.
Here we go. Put your foot in first. Kick in the door. Wave the 4-4.
Honestly, do you guys think that they're going to give us reparations?
No.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page, because this is the way I look at it. And I'm not saying I'm not for reparations, because I absolutely am. The thing is this, I look at it like this. Any white president that would give Black America reparations would be the end of his political career. That's how I look at it. And if a white president did give us reparations, it would have to be in his last term on the way out the door.
It's not even that. To speak on it, like, is it Congress too? You got to think about Congress. So this thing, even the study is still waiting to have the study for reparations.
Yeah. But the thing is, you know, the president is the coach of the team. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Especially when you got his same party controlling both two other branches of the government. But that's just my theory on it. Like I said, even like kind of like, I look at it like this, like liberal white America, they still would be pissed if they gave us reparations.
Oh yeah,
and that's really how I see it.
Malcolm X talked about the white liberal. Malcolm X spoke about the white liberal.
Yeah, they would even be mad, even though they vote Democratic or what have you. But I think they would be just as pissed as racist white America if any president or government gave us reparations.
If you were a white person, just a middle class average white person, it would seem to you that we were getting preferential treatment.
Correct.
Right. That's just how it was. You wouldn't understand that it was to make. Look at what I think Barack had to give as part of his deal. I think he had to release some funds from Iran. I think back when they were doing that, and all you saw on, I can't remember, but they had to release some funds from Iran. And all you heard on the right was, oh look, he's giving them money. He's giving them money, when they didn't understand that it was actually time to give them this money, like it was some sort of time. It was, you know what I mean? It was money.
It's money that we held.
Right, we held on to it, and he released it finally. You know what I mean? It would be like, so he was making, he was following what was already put in place. You know what I mean? So if you
absolutely right. Absolutely right.
What study did they do before starting giving it? You know what? You're right. It just happened. It just, but that again, that's part of something else that's going on. That we don't.
But I think the thing that we have to also understand is there are certain things that you have to fight for strategically. So if they're not giving it to you, then you got to make them feel it. All right. So I'm not buying no Louis Vuitton. I'm not buying no Fendi. I'm not spending the $1 trillion of buying power we have. We're gonna reallocate it to ourselves, and that's what it is. So we're not.
I feel you on that.
You're not buying hair too.
Yeah, that's it. So whatever it is. All right. Wait a minute, Rod. Wait a minute. See, now,
I know what I said.
You don't went too far, brother. Now I was on a roll. I was trying to get Fendi passed, and that's not gonna make it through Black Congress right now. You know what I'm saying?
But it's true. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry that Black people don't own a zero.
There you go. So now get your
Nobody buys hair like we do, and like I said, they don't own none of it, and they're not getting a dime of it, and you're blocked out of getting into the business of hair. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Stop buying it. Bring them to their knees, and then you'll see. If you bring those big corporations down to their knees, those big corporations have political power. So if you bring them down to their knees and they say, hey, give them what they want so they can come back and spend their money with us, you watch and see how quickly things happen. We have to learn the power of the dollar.
No doubt. That's it. That's the name of the game. Don't.
Why aren't we doing it?
Derek, you trying to get me canceled on a Wednesday. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to let the enemy use it.
So moving on. So Ron DeSantis talking about racist shit and everything like that, but this is a little different. So Ron DeSantis signs into law for Florida banning transgenders from participating in women's sports.
Oh,
that's good.
Yeah. You see what Brad said?
Bring it up. I'm sorry, I was reading that. I didn't see what it said.
He said
he went to the outlets in Atlanta last weekend, and he said there still was a crazy line for Gucci outlet. Now, I'm glad he said that, right? I was in the mall a little while back, right? Went to take my daughter to the mall, and I walked past the Louis Vuitton store. The velvet rope is back out. The line is long, but pay attention when you look into the store ain't crowded. They're intentionally making you wait on that line and make it seem like it's so important. You know what I'm saying? It's a marketing strategy. Now, the thing is, I'm going to make you wait on the line to come in here and spend hundreds or maybe thousands of dollars, and you're going to still wait online. That's amazing how you get tricked like that.
Yeah.
Oh, no question.
Right.
No question.
I'm not standing on the line nowhere to give my hundreds or maybe thousands of dollars to anybody.
Right. Right.
And you don't have to, next time you walk by, look in the store and you tell me if it's crowded.
Right. Before we go back on Ron DeSantis, one place me and you would probably stay on line for.
Okay, I'm not gonna say it. I know you're gonna say it. I'm not
gonna say it. Crack a barrel, baby. Crack a barrel. I'm on that line, baby.
Give them black people their money.
But
the thing is, I'm only giving them like $8-9 up in there because that's what pancakes for.
Yeah, I'm doing that shit. Fuck that shit. I want them shit. So anyway, back to Ron DeSantis signs into law, Florida banning transgenders from participating in women's sports. Thoughts, gentlemen?
About time.
Okay.
Broken clock is what do you say? The broken clock is right twice a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just wondering, man. Like why? Like certain stuff. Like where did common sense go? You know, like where did it go? You know, if we're banning PEDs, all right. Why would you put a man? I should say that. Let me bring it back. Why would you do that? That's like a built-in advantage right there. You know what I mean? It's like you built in, like it's like an HGH. You know what I mean? Just built in. It just didn't make no sense. And why is it there in the first place? You know, these girls are out here. They're competing. They're trying to get scholarships to go to school and better themselves in their futures. Why would you take that away from them? Why you know what I mean? Why would you put an obstacle in front of that? You know what I mean? It's very competitive, man. You're taking somebody else's place. You know, and it's ridiculous, man. You compete with the guys. You're not good enough to compete with the guys and drop. You know. So
it was. I think it was the right thing to do. I think it is an unfair advantage, and you know the way I look at it is this: I'm not going to live long enough where I get all this stuff because I don't. There's certain things. I'm really certain things. I'm just really not even open to changing with, and this is my stance, and everybody can understand it. Whatever plumbing you come with, if it's internal, you play with the people with the internal plumbing. If it's external, you play with people with the external. If it's external, you go to the urinal. If it's internal, you go to the toilet, and that's it. So whichever way the way I look at it is the league you're in. If you pee standing up, you in that league. If you pee sitting down, you're in that league, and that's it. Now, what you do all the time?
I'm about to cry, man.
You ain't got to email me. You got to do nothing. This, that, and third. Matter of fact, I'm against the scroll at the bottom too. Forget the scroll for trying to get fly. That's right. You want to play rough? I'll play rough.
No. I'm going to Rodney before I say go ahead. Oh, what Brian say?
No.
Yeah, he said if the factors found outside is also against transgenders in sports, but change his position and allow it to own the libs.
Mr. Ron DeSantis is one of those Trump yes guys. Like he does whatever Trump tells him to do.
Yeah.
Now I don't disagree with the transgenders with you know they're not being able to play with women or sports, keeping them out of sports. See, the thing is, I want to backtrack to an old show that we had where we talked about Brucey Jenner.
Okay. Hey, if I get the stroll, Rodney,
wait till I finish, and then put it up. The thing is, we're going to backtrack to a show we had in the past about Brucey Jenner, right? Now, Brucey Jenner is signed on to be a Republican. He's going to run for the governor of California, right? So now he's signed on with a party that basically is against transgenders, right? So the thing is, that's how you know that there's an ulterior motive. The Republican Party is about to use him in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? They want to use him when it's comfortable. But that's why you can't, like, I think, Kelvin, you said it before, you said you don't trust it. Yeah, we can't trust Brucey Jenner because he's fooled us in the past. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He made us think he was Bruce Jenner. You know what I'm saying? And when it was convenient for him to make money as a male. You know what I'm saying?
And he'll be back. He'll be back, by the way. When they offer him $100 million to change back, he'll be back.
He'll change back. Whatever it has to do with money, he'll change to be whatever it has to be. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, it just goes to show you the trickery and like the dishonesty about the Republican Party and Ron DeSantis and those people. But I just wanted to touch on that.
Hey, we're not going to get invited to the Pride Parade.
I'm gonna say this.
No, we don't got no beef with the Pride Parade.
I'm gonna say this though. And to me, these conversations blend. It goes back what you say about the reparations. In other words, there's a community here. There's a community here that you know not to say anything about other than praise. You cannot be objective. You cannot disagree. You cannot critique this community. That is just the bottom line. But the black community, you can do anything you want to. The black community you can talk about, they ain't even no scroll on the bottom of the black community. At the end of the day, you mention something about the transgender or gay community and people feel it is not of praise, you get criticized. And that's the reality of it. And so we've got to do the same thing. In those communities, they forced it. And that's what it is. You know, you're very, very careful.
Baby girl's right.
They're physically men. They're physically men. Exactly.
We agree, baby girl.
Yeah. It's like, because like I said before, I want my daughter in a high school match fighting an 18-year-old boy, child that was a boy and then transgendered on. That ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Because we're gonna run out on the mat.
In fact,
I'm coming out on the mat. I want to get into the match.
Oh, we all cheating now. That's what we're doing. All right, cool.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Where's okay?
Yeah. So
feel the mainstream.
But this week, who's been trending hard is our dear sister Monique, the comedian. She went. She was talking about these young ladies and trying to just have self wealth. Jamie, can you play the video for the people?
I've been seeing it, not just at the airport. I've been seeing it at the store, at the mall. I've been seeing sisters showing up with these bonnets and headscarves and these slippers. And the question that I'm having to you, my sweet babies, when did we lose pride in representing ourselves? When did we step away of let me make sure I'm presentable when I leave my home? Let me make sure I'm representing the family I created so that if I'm out in the street, I look like I have pride in myself. And I'm not saying no full face of makeup. I'm not saying no full front lace frontal. I'm not saying none of that. All I'm saying is, could you please comb your hair? And if you don't want to comb your hair, they got enough shit out here now, baby, where you can style yourself up and look like you have pride. I'm not saying you don't have pride, but the representation that you're showing, someone would have to ask you to know that you had it. So my sweet babies, for the ones that do call me auntie, I love you for real. Even the ones that don't, I love y'all asses too. But the babies that say auntie to me, please listen to auntie. Always have pride in your representation of you. It's not to get a man. It is just your representation of you, my sweet babies. So I'm just giving y'all a warning. If I see you in the streets, in the airport, in the Walmart, and you got a bonnet on and you got slippers on and you looking like what the fuck, Nikki gonna tap you and say, hey, baby girl, show you what you worth. Show you what you deserve. So all of those posts that you see celebrities putting out there saying, hey, queen, hey, queen, hey, queen. Well, can we start putting it into action? So I'm asking our wiser sisters, when we see our little babies out there looking like they just don't care, and I'm not saying y'all don't, it looks like it. Can we just tap them and say, baby girl, you deserve more than what you're showing. Represent you with pride, my babies. And that may be a part of us helping our community. Because if you look like you don't give a damn, how you gonna be treated. So when I say, hey, queen, I can only say it to the sisters that it belongs to. Because a lot of us are still in queen training. So if you're in queen training, stop being fearful of taking your position. And queens don't walk around with bonnets and headscarves and slippers and pajamas. That's for the house. When you go outside, represent you, baby, like you are worthy and you deserve the title of Hey Queen. Nikki love y'all for real. And I ain't never gonna BS you. Stop wearing them damn bonnets and headscarves looking like don't nobody give a damn about you, nor do you give a damn about yourself. Cause you beautiful. So represent it. I love y'all for real, my babies.
So before we comment on that, we have a special guest tonight. We don't have a female perspective because it was 4 guys, and we don't want to say that we're attacking the sisters. So tonight we have a special guest. Is my niece, my favorite niece, Miss Brittany, aka Keisha, if you're nasty. Jamie, can you bring in my niece, Brittany?
Hey, am I representing with pride today?
Oh, hell no, man. Hell no.
Oh, my God.
I don't do the bonnets in the street.
You goddamn right. Well, say, don't do that, my favorite niece. Oh, man. You scared me for a second.
Yo, what's up, Britt? Very good. Very funny. Very funny.
Hey, guys.
That was good.
Hey, what's up, Rodney?
So, Brittany, we want to get a female perspective on that. What do you think? Like, guys, we know we're going to say. Well, I can't know what everybody's going to say. I know what I want to say. But Brittany, your perspective on this, on the comments from Monique.
Now, I don't usually side with Monique, but she is absolutely right, and it's absolutely ridiculous. The bonnets are everywhere. Okay, the Walmart. My students wear them to school, and I'd be like, "Ma'am, where you going? You can't come in this place." Like, the bonnets are getting ridiculous. The scarves, the furry slippers, it's tacky. And the biggest part is the purpose of a bonnet is to what?
Sleep in it.
Protect your hair when you sleep. You not sleep at Walmart, sis. Why you got your bonnet on? It doesn't make any sense. And these women are out here fighting against it like, oh, this shows that you are policing Black women. No, that's not what this is.
No. And they say like, and they want to say they're going to airplanes. They say they want to be, when they get to their destination with their hair to look fresh.
No, what you do. So again, are you sleep when you go through TSA and you doing No, you're not. So what you need to do is put your bonnet in your bag. When you get on the plane and everything is all settled, you can throw it on. We get it. You're going to sleep. As soon as you step off that plane, take your bonnet off. It's no reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I starting to see that bonnet as? It's like the female do-rag now. That's how I kind of feel.
And there's a lot of people saying if we're telling women they can't wear bonnets, men shouldn't wear. I agree.
No,
I don't think
I agree with that too. I don't like my son when he was waving his hair, whatever. He wasn't allowed to go outside in his head with no do-rag on.
That's right.
And D, you can attest to that. D, no, I don't play that. The thing is, you wasn't going outside with it. You ain't going to school with it. Now, if you in the house and you sleeping, go ahead, no problem. But you're not going outside with it.
Yo, Brittany's grandfather, my father, and everybody all the men on my block, we can wear our hats backwards, can wear no do-rags. I remember when I went to baseball practice and I had the joint under my baseball cap.
Yeah.
Take that shit off.
Yeah.
But see, you took it back to grandpa, which is a different generation where, especially the Southern generation of Blacks, they really had pride. When you stepped out the house, you never knew what was going to happen, who you were going to meet. It's like your mother said, don't wear no rip underwear because you never know what's going to happen. The police pull you over. I mean, in the accident, they got to cup you open. You want to have some good underwear on. This is the thing. People can't see that, but you just took pride in your appearance. And no one cares anymore. And it trickles down because the same moms that come up to the school cursing and yelling, they got their bonnets on. So you can't expect their kids to understand why you're telling them not to wear their bonnet.
And the thing is, like she said, it best is a thing of self-pride. Just to have around yourself, like you represent your family outside. Like why you always looking like you ready to fight? You got a bonnet on. You got I don't understand the pajamas either. Like I noticed that when I started working in high school, like the early 2000s. How do you wear pajamas to school? Do you go back in bed with those same pajamas? Like it just look nasty.
I always feel like when I see pajamas, you ain't take no bath. I don't even participate in pajama day at work because it's just like, you stink. I'm not going to be around you. But see,
I think you guys are talking about. I think you guys are talking about effect and not cause, and there's a cause to it. And that's why everybody. I think you're dealing with a lot of people who really don't know who they are. So what they're trying to do is have somebody assign a value to it. So everybody walking around calling each other king and all the stuff like that. I mean, it sounds good, but I mean, realistically, you can call somebody whatever they want. It depends on how they feel about themselves internally. And so you have almost this herd mentality. Everybody, I know a lot of people that developed a lot of these trends from jail, with the not wearing a belt in jail, the sagging pants, and, the do-rags and all those different things. A lot of this stuff has come from, people coming home from jail and their cousins and stuff like that. Because remember, in jail, the guys would wear that a lot. And then the rappers made it very famous. It just started, escalating. And so I think when you have that, she's saying, you're worth being a queen or you're worth whatever like that. If that's not internal, if it doesn't come from the inside, it's not going to emanate or resonate outside. It's just not. And that's the issue. And somebody dropped the ball. Whoever raised this generation is definitely accomplice. Y'all
gotta remember, this is a generation that was raised by crackheads, so I'm not sure how much y'all want.
No, you're right.
Y'all want a lot from a crackhead now.
You're right. You're right. If you had somebody, crackheads are not only. And I hate to say crackhead. I know we just, but if you were drug addicted in the 80s, and then you had children, you could really be a grandparent now. You know what I'm saying? And so, and then there was no connection to the South. When that broke, a lot of, like my mother said, when she came from South Carolina, they wouldn't do chores on a Sunday, or they would not, leave the house without your bed made up, or all that stuff has changed once we came to either the northern states or whatever. Just a lot has changed culturally. And then pop culture has just made it very acceptable to just be radical and not give a crap. That's just what it does.
Yeah, we have some good comment from Brad. Good comment from Brad.
Everything goes back to buck breaking. No leader in the house hold to stop that behavior. Yep. And that's real. You know what? That's funny though. But you mentioned something, Kelvin, about what generation is to blame. These are our kids, man. So I mean, let's look at it. So the buck stops with us. We need to maybe stop our generation, the generation that needs to really start looking at the mirror. You know what I mean? So and we start talking about women wearing their bonnets and all that. These are the younger girls, but look at these fellas that they age too. They walking around with their pants off their ass, you know what I'm saying? And doing things that we wouldn't have got caught dead, wearing clothes that we would, you know what I mean? I'm old enough to remember when black preppy was a thing, you know what I mean? And we so far from that, even going back a little bit further, even when we were at the beginnings of our little hip hop clothing and everything. You remember the clothes we used to wear? We never used to wear our stuff hanging off our ass and all that kind of stuff. You might flip it a certain way, but it was, to show your affiliation, but with culture, but that was it, So I mean, just collectively, I think we got a situation where we just have collectively a lack of self-respect.
Yeah. It was a few things that happened. Like we were the first generation of being selfish. We sold drugs to each other. We became very selfish. We became glamorized with money and stuff like that. That's one thing with our generation that we did drop the ball on that. We didn't take those same dinner time lessons and bring them and give them to our offspring. That's one thing. But and I just want to do some of the comments. Somebody said about other races do wear pajamas. I did work in a mixed school. A lot of other races do wear pajamas, so that shit ain't cool. But and then we had another comment. We had another comment from Baby Girl.
Well, right now we're not worried about other races. We're worried about us.
Exactly.
We're worried about us.
It's not a race thing. I think that a lot of women were attacking Monique, and I listened to some podcasts of some very esteemed women like Demetria Lucas, and they're saying like, oh, policing Black women, and this is a Black thing, and we're only doing this because we feel like what looks proper or presentable in the eyes of whitey. And it's like, no, this is not a color thing. This is class. Like, this is tacky. You don't come out of the house in pajamas, bonnets, sleepwear at all, no matter what color you are. And I really hate that it's turning into this, we're trying to present ourselves for the white America. No, you're just trying to present yourself for the world, regardless of color.
This is about self-esteem and pride. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
This is not about something.
But they changed the narrative. They changed the narrative, Rod, to feel like anytime you critique something, that should be negative toward it. Even with Brittany they're talking about policing. Nobody's talking about policing. They have a right to do it. That's the problem. So what happens is this. First of all, any race of people, and this is just my opinion, any race of people that will have babies by anybody without a standard or criteria is going to be subject to the downfall of their race. I'm not saying which race that may be. I'm just saying if anybody is like, no matter who you are, whether you can read or not, whether you've been incarcerated, whether you're not trying to do something, whether you're in the gang, whatever, I will lay down and have a child with you and start a family, you're going to have problems. Not saying I'm talking about any race in particular. I'm just saying if that happens, then you're going to be subject to that. Whoever that race may be.
Like the thing, two things. All right. So, Kelvin, you said something that was very profound to me. When you said people keep calling themselves queen and king. I've never seen a king wear pajamas. I've never seen the king look sloppy. I don't know if the king of a little small village in Africa, he always wearing the best, whatever clothing they wear, he's had the best of that and wears it with pride.
The king and the queen, the king and the queen are the two best dressed people in the whole palace. Period. So the thing is, you're right. Like, how can you compare that to king and queen? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But the other thing I got a problem with too is, this is just not the pajamas, the hair, the do-rags, and the pants sagging. It's how these youth are walking around talking in front of adults. You know what I'm saying? The language that they're using. I remember if I was around older people or walked in a store and older people were there, I would never say any profanity, curse, say anything vulgar or whatever. They don't care. They just don't care.
And Brittany, a quick question. Producer Jamie told me to ask you this question. What would you do if Monique tapped you at the airport?
She not tapping me because I was never going with a bonnet.
So what do you think? What do you think? So you think people react to Monique different in the street?
I think Monique's reputation right now, especially in the Black community, isn't as great as it once was. And some of these young people wouldn't even know who Auntie Monique is because she's just a different generation of a comedian. So I don't think it would be received well. Kind of back to what Rodney was just speaking on. This new generation, they don't have respect. It's not. Respect is not a thing. They don't care who you are. If you're an elder, you come up to a young man and you're trying to speak to him like, correct yourself or this. They're going off on sight. So
they might even assault him.
Exactly. That's what I mean when they going off. You see them, they fighting in the airport already. So she's just another woman they going to fight in the airport.
Well, the two airlines that fight on most of the time is Spirit and Southwest. So those things I ain't taking. I'm telling you right now. But also, Jamie, can you bring up Achilles' comment? I want to go back to that. I want to also go back to Monique's comment. Not Monique, the comedian, but yeah.
Aquila. That's Aquila.
Aquila. Sorry, Aquila. It's my bad, my sister.
Black women cannot take criticism.
I think so. I think they're ready to fight because the thing is, we listen to Big Mama and got that wisdom. These young sisters now are ready to fight. Even the young boys are ready to fight.
Yeah, it's the thing is it's like we just saying this issue is about respect. Like you look at people probably look at the four of us and they say, "Oh, look at these four old heads on here talking," but they don't look at this as wisdom and experience. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the thing is, there's something I could teach you that could take you far because guess what? We already been through it. Right. We already seen it. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, us correcting you and making sure it's because we care and we want to see our people advance. But they don't see it that way. They see it as though you disrespecting them.
I think it's important though.
Monique is right. They made hold it though, Brittany. If Beyonce came out and said, "Don't wear that shit," it's done.
They won't wear it. They would. Yeah.
It's always it's never the message. It's the messenger. Always remember that. A lot of these people say some good stuff, but you said a lot of stupid stuff before. Now we just have no respect for anything you say is invalid. But it's definitely the messenger. But I'm sorry,
that was Keisha. My bad.
Aquila's comment about Black women can't take criticism. I think we have to be careful with that though. Because there's this stigma that Black women are supposed to be so strong and not have feelings and never speak up on how they really feel. We're supposed to just take it with a smile, right? And just push through. So I do think that we are in an era where we do take things a little more sensitive. And that's just our world right now, period. But especially with Black women, because we just feel like no one looks out for us. So I do get that part of it a little bit. But to me, this isn't criticism. It's just common sense and common decency at this point.
Yeah. She's talking about the football player. Yeah, the football player went up on Cam Newton. and he got G-check. See, the thing with young cats, the thing like Rodney said it best to me. Like older, they don't want to get the wisdom from us, and they can talk about like when they go and Rodney, you work with kids, and I work with kids, and the 16-year-old told me I'm gonna go talk to my OG, and I was like, who's your OG? This motherfucker 20.
Yeah, he's 20. Yeah,
you 20, right. Bro. You don't piss straight. You know, right. You know what I'm saying? You don't even piss straight yet. You know what I'm saying?
In other words, you got the blind leading the blind. There's absolutely no guidance, and that's the thing. So let's say this. So hypothetically, all right. So Monique makes this statement, right? Regardless if you know her as a great comedian or she old school, whatever the case is, the last thing anybody's gonna think is she genuinely cares about us. That's the last thing we're gonna check. Every other, oh, she hating, oh, she ain't young no more, oh, she this, that, and third. She don't know this, that. She that's the thing, and it's never. I never forget this, and I put myself on blast. I never forget this. I was probably the first time I went to buy a suit myself. I was probably like 18 years old. And I played myself because I went to Jamaica Avenue. All right, because you could tell how old I was.
Oh my God!
And it was when those rayon suits was out, cheap rayon suits with a different color. I go to buy the suit, and this Arab guy is selling me the suit. A black man walks by. He does not know me. He says, "Brother, don't let them sell you that suit. That suit too small for you. This, that, and the third, blah, 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 whatever." I'm like, wow, look at him. He out there hating this, that, and the third, blah, blah. They sold me that same small suit, made me pay about twice what it was worth in alterations and this, that, and the third. And I just never forgot. The man tried to tell me. The man genuinely cared. The man was just trying to say, brother, just listen to me. But no, I couldn't at that moment. And that's what I'm saying. And what we've got to do is understand that. Now, I was 18 years old. You got somebody that's 40 years old going to be upset with what Monique said. You see what I'm saying? Monique, it's not going to make a difference to her life whether you do this or not. But I agree with her 100%.
Yeah.
No, and she said it with so much sincerity and kindness too.
You know, it's like the piggyback off something D said. D was talking about, you know, how these young dudes see other young dudes as OGs. Back when I was coming up, you know, and I wasn't always the greatest of a kid or whatever. And I always remember guys that I considered OGs. First of all, they went through stuff. They had wisdom, and they would tell you, listen, young blood, that ain't for you. You get away from that, or you don't do that, or don't hang with them. They're going to get you in trouble or whatever. Now you tell somebody that, they're ready to knock your head off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Rodney,
it's crazy.
What does OG stand for?
Original gangster.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Half the rappers. I was thinking about this the other day. The rappers. Escobar.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
everything is gangster related, right? Everything
is negativity. We embrace we embrace criminal activity. We embrace negativity.
We didn't do none of that.
We name ourselves after dictators. The thing is, it's just crazy, man. It's just
lack
crazy.
of identity. At the end of the day, you still talking about self-esteem. You're still talking about not knowing who you are.
And we guess what else, Kelvin? We had this conversation too. We're the only race that a derogatory statement can be used said against us, or we say against ourselves, and nothing happens. Everybody else say something messed up about another race, and guess what? We canceled. It's over. It's dead.
You know what I'm saying? Not integrate a Jewish or homosexual slur into pop culture.
That's right. That's right. You can say that. You can say that N-word till you fall down, and nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen.
Absolutely nothing at all. Nothing. You know.
No, we're in a place now, man, where we have some decisions to make, man, regarding what's important to us. I think, Monique, I understand the message of. I always dug the sister. I dug the sister going back to the whole. I think I'm strange that way. Maybe it was a lot of the reason why people kind of got off the Monique bandwagon was the reason I got on it. You know what I mean? I always took it as her trying to, stand up for herself. And said, hey, it's okay for you to stand up for yourself, to know your worth and all of that. But, so other people, took some of what she said in a different light. You know what I mean? But I think that through it all, what's consistent is that she is trying, even with this, is that she wants people to know their self-worth and act accordingly. So,
but see, Derik, that's the thing. And I think that's what Brittany touched on. And this is what we have to do as a community. Whether or not you like the person, recognize when somebody's telling you something that's right. Period. Whether you're a Monique fan or not, sometimes somebody's just telling you something that is right. My father used to tell me, like, look, you're a grown man. I can tell you what to do. I'll tell you what I would do, though. At the end of the day, you have to make your own decision. It does not look good to be walking around like that. And sometimes it does look like you don't care. We are in a community where you'll go get a tattoo on your face and your neck, and then somebody can't get a job, this, that, and the third. No matter what, at the end of the day, you are in this society. You are in Western civilization. It is the bottom line. It is a wrap. And that we've got to deal within these parameters somewhere, and that's just it. And guess what? When you're in the barbershop and you say it, then I had a dude tell me one time, lay off the black man. Lay off the black man. In other words, at the end of the day, now you have this thing where it's like we're victims because somebody is pointing out something. Sometimes it's just foul. You do not walk out in the street with a toothbrush in your mouth. Not walk out there half dressed. It makes no sense.
Yo,
hold on, D.
Go to the comments. I want to go ahead, Rodney.
Yeah. I'm sorry, D. Sammy, can you bring that last comment up? Because I want Brittany to address that comment. What does she think about it?
Go ahead.
With Aquila?
Yeah, this one right here. Yeah.
She said, unfortunately, I've never met a black woman who could take criticism, correction, or anything like that. I think it's hard to say never.
Okay.
That's a big statement to make. Because it's not all black women, and that's probably just Aquila's experience with the black women she has been around. Mm-hmm. I don't meet too many white women that take criticism. Well, right. I just think it's a woman thing or, an ego thing, period. I think this isn't criticism, though. And I think it's important to look at what Keisha said. These women know it ain't right. They know it's not right. It's just like, well, you're not going to tell me what. It's more so of us not wanting to be told what to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another thing, here I go with the money. Let's trace back and see who's making these bonnets. That's what I want to do. I want to find out who's making money. Just like we traced back and found out who was making the do-rag. It wasn't us.
We know who's selling them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We know who's selling them.
Yeah. So, Monique Ent's question is: do you guys believe? I don't think Tyler Perry and Oprah has anything to do with this. I don't think it was going to affect them on it. That road, that sale, everybody know. I think Jamie put on our private chat to people and saying, I think black people mad at Monique when she told them to boycott Netflix.
Yeah, I don't think. First of all, I don't think for her question. I don't think we can. And Brittany's point is well taken. We can't just have sweeping absolutes. Nothing's just. It's not everybody. Now she can make the statement. I've never met a black woman. That you can say that. You just can't say all black women. Whatever. I'll say this.
Well, she said I never met. Yeah, she said
right. That's what I'm saying. You can say that.
But in Brittany's excuse me, Kelvin. In Brittany's defense, she just said about it may be the people she hangs around.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is there were two comments. One was black women can't take criticism. The next one was I've never met. So there's two distinctions there, and one can be true, and one does not necessarily have to be true. What I'm saying is this: none of us like criticism, right? But there's something different between not liking it and accepting it. There are certain things about me that the guys can say, hey, Kelvin, this, that, and the third, look at it, and they can be right. And what happens is this. We come from a lot of people. Oftentimes, I've always said this. Some people are more interested in being heard than being right. Is that I have the right to say something or right to do something, and I don't want to feel like you're infringing upon it where it is still true. You see what I'm saying? And that's the bottom line.
The thing with me with
girl's statement is very important, though. Black women are born being criticized. Our hair at school, our body. I mean, at work, we can't wear the same dress that someone else who doesn't have a shapely body can wear, and we're criticized with it and told we can't wear that. And it's like I'm wearing the same thing she's wearing. Our hair, we can't wear our natural hair to some office buildings for a long time. They had to make a law saying you could wear your natural hair. So I do think that we are criticized very high, and I just think we're in a sensitive era where now we're not taking.
The thing with me with criticism, right? Like, to me, I don't mind taking criticism. The issue is I look at where it's coming from. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's coming from a person that I respect, I admire, somebody that raised me or whatever, but if some loser comes along and criticizes me, it rolls right off me and I just tell them, get the fuck out of here. But the bottom line is I always look at where that criticism comes from. Is it coming from a place of you really hating on me, or do you really love me? That's how I look at it.
I think Monique went through a thing where she was sort of leaning on something that I guess it wasn't necessarily there. I think it's kind of being illustrated right now. Black people are not a monolithic thought. We don't all think the same. We don't all feel the same. She was when she was going through her situation with Netflix and everything, I think she was coming from a place of, hey, you know, I'm Monique, I'm a person, I'm someone we can rally around and have this ideal or whatever is ideal, and maybe we can rally around me around that. And a lot of people didn't take to that, you know, and we just believe differently, you know, whether it just be, you know, I don't want to give up my $10 subscription for Netflix, or, you know, I just don't feel you, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like we're seeing that right now just play out in real time, you know? So
here I go with the money again.
Keisha, they not showering at all, girl.
The thing is, you gotta. I kind of admire what Monique did, because Monique took a big hit in the pocket for what she stood up for. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, you know, you got a lot of people that basically they're going to bow down, do what they got to do, say what they got to say, dance. They got to put taps on their shoes because they don't want to affect their bottom line. Like Monique took a big hit. She took a big financial hit for what she stood up for.
Also, we have to remember Monique already had a lot of backlash about work in the business, period. A lot of people already said she's nasty to work with, she's hard to work with, she doesn't fulfill commitments. So you weren't coming to the table with a proven track record. Also, you hadn't did shows in 15 years. These white folks at Netflix don't know who Monique is. And
but they did blackball her too, Brittany, for a little while. They blackballed
her. Yeah, exactly. But my point is, I don't think Monique took the right approach in the beginning of that. Mm-hmm. I just think it was, you're asking for all this money, but where's the numbers? We need to see the numbers.
Correct.
The numbers
I agree.
Today, for white people, it's business. We don't care about the color. Right now, it's not about your color when it comes to Netflix.
Correct.
It's strictly business. And you're not going to bring us this type of business. So why do you deserve this check? And she couldn't prove that.
No, it's about a color. The color is green. That's what they care about. They care about if you're going to bring that money. You're correct.
She's not bringing at that time.
And you're right. I can't remember what was the white female she tried to compare numbers to. There you go. She didn't have Amy Schumer's numbers. I do agree with that. That's what I think she was wrong about. But like I said, I still respect her stance because she took a beating financially.
Yeah, but you stand on your ground by yourself. You was telling the whole black, like, Netflix, what? This is what we not going to do. At least Dave Chappelle didn't say abandon Netflix. He said just don't watch my show.
Yeah. So with Brittany, with that said, man, listen, I love you, my favorite niece, for coming on. We gotta move on to the show. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for Brittany go to bed early. She's one of them young people that be in bed. I'm putting this
right back on, but I'm
She's always the first one to go to sleep, man. But let the kids, y'all kids can stay up. She be out in bed, knocked out early, man. So
that's how you stay looking young. That's why you stay looking young, you know.
Yeah. So Brittany gotta get them teach some badass kids out there in Baltimore.
I got the kids in the morning.
So my favorite niece, thanks for coming on, giving your perspective on things, man.
Brittany, all love, Brittany, all love.
You keep doing it, queen. Now you a queen.
Right. Y'all follow Keisha Chronicles. I got a podcast coming this summer in June. Well, we are in June, sometime in June. Check me out on Keisha Chronicles on Chronicles with the K on Instagram. And listen, and then see how Nick Rose late. We're already in June. Somebody's coming in June. That's that native shit. It wouldn't be Keisha if she ain't put a little black on it now. She'll get there. All right.
Somebody said Brittany needs to be added to the lineup.
Let's do it, Brittany. Let's do it. Let's mix our crowd. Let's do it. Let's mix our audience together. Get them young folks with us, and we get the old folks with y'all. Give y'all some wisdom.
We're gonna
not them young black women. They're not gonna take that criticism now. She didn't
All right, my favorite niece.
All right. Good night, guys.
All right. Rodney's in the middle. All time.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask for extra money for sure. You saw that.
That was a topic right there, man. That was a good one.
Yeah, the Applejack bun.
Applejack bun is word. Them shit's got them. Everybody looks like they're fucking chefs. Them big ass buns on. You know, they just come out and make some cookies and shit. Them big ass fucking chefs on with some big chef hats on. I can't stand them shit.
Nobody can cook. Nobody can cook.
Nah, it's everywhere. Everywhere's a bonnet. The number one place you see them joints on is Spirit Airlines. Yeah. And you better bring your Vaseline.
So wait a minute, did it replace the shower cap?
Yes. But remember, I'm gonna go this for people that's out of state. In Uptown Harlem, Rod, you know, we used to be in these streets. Yeah. The girls just rock those doobies all the time.
Yeah.
And never they wear the doobie, get the hair done, have the pins in them, and never take the shits out. So we never got we never saw their hairstyles.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Correct.
That was horrible.
Yeah,
you pay for it, you wear the doobie for 2 weeks, and you go back to the hair salon to get the doobie again. it was insane to me, man.
But the thing is, it is basically becoming like a uniform. It's basically the pajama pants, the furry slippers, and the bonnet.
And got throw some big eyelashes on.
And yeah, the big shits. Yeah, tarantula joints.
I don't even know how the motherfuckers hold their eyes up with them shit so heavy practicing. You know what I'm saying? Weightlifting eyelash.
They be talking to you with the low eyes because the shits are so heavy. Yeah.
Listen. So, speaking of person that always criticize black folks, Bill Cosby was a non-parole at the in Pennsylvania Supreme Court for a new trial deadline. Damn, Bill. God damn, man. Damn, Bill. They fucked Bill up. Bill ain't got no hold.
Man. His skin don't look right, man. He just look tore up, man. That don't look like Bill, man. The man going blind and everything, man.
Hey, the mug shots are designed to make you look bad, though. Seriously, they do. They use a very cheap camera. They use film. It's not great lighting. So the thing is, I mean, everybody's gonna look bad when they take a thing. But my man Bill is in jail. But the thing is, I see it differently. Everybody's worried about Bill in jail, but I think Bill is in jail being an OG. I think he's walking around having people under pressure, man. I think he's telling people, yo, don't get that Jello pudding pop and them sweaters twisted. I'll tear your ass up in here. Yo, I really think Bill might be in the OG because the thing is, I knew a chick that claimed she was locked up with Martha Stewart. And she said Martha Stewart had people in there under pressure.
Wow.
She said, I got too much money for me to be scared of y'all in here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But think about it. All Martha Stewart had, she make a phone call and somebody's going to disappear. You know
right on up.
Hey, Bill Cosby name in jail is Blind Theory.
That's not nice. That's not nice. Oh man, that's not nice, Steve.
Yeah, man, I feel bad for Bill Cosby, man.
Yo, what's the new news? What's the new news on Bill Cosby? Didn't something just come out?
I don't know. He refused to sign the paper, right?
That's the reason. That's the reason he's not getting parole. Didn't he just have a food fight or something like that?
No, that was a few years ago. I think it was a few years ago. We looked it up. Yeah, imagine that he didn't see the pudding coming.
He started throwing food around because they didn't have no Jello pudding up in the spot. He just got upset.
I've never seen a bigger fall from grace. Never. I mean, they called him America's dad. I mean, I'm talking about
America's dad.
White families was like, Bill Cosby is the truth, and it's just see it, man. It's sad. It's sad to see because I mean, he had an empire, definitely.
They can't let that man die in prison, though, man. You know that can't be a good look.
No, he looked like he gonna be around. He looked like he not having it.
How many years he got? How many years he got sentenced? 8
to 10 years, right?
Let him die.
Well, I don't know what his sentence was, but it really doesn't matter what Bill Cosby's sentence is. Bill Cosby is 83, I think.
That's what I'm saying.
So even 3 years, 2 years is a long time for somebody that age.
Just off his age alone, it's kind of dubious that he's in.
Correct. And the thing is, Bill Cosby won't get parole because he refuses to go to that counseling for sexual offenders. He won't go to it. So that's why. And they told him he has no chance of getting parole unless he attends the counseling.
I still watch it, Brad.
I haven't watched it in years.
Yeah.
If it comes on, I watch it because there's some classics.
I haven't seen it because I think I've seen every friggin' Cosby Show episode.
He's not Cliff Huxtable. I mean, that's just it. Cliff Huxtable was a great dad. That's just
But guys, we about to go to our first commercial break for the night before we bring in our special guest. Jamie, can you take us to commercial, please? Welcome back. There you go, Derek. That's right. That's right. Oh, we lost Rob, but anyway, no, there you go. Oh, he's back. He's back. You know what I'm saying? Can't hold a good brother down.
No,
So our first guest, we talk about pride and different things like that. So this time we're gonna talk about a little bit about relationships. My first guest is a brother I grew up with, my man Kelvin. He was born in South Jamaica, Queens, South Side. We outside. Graduate of Morehouse, historical black college. That brother's a smart man, very smart brother there. And he has a book out. He's the author of a book called Dare to Journey. It was a blog. I'm sorry, Dare to Journey. The blog about covers middle-aged people in multitude of different topics. So, Jamie, can you bring in our first guest tonight? Our second guest tonight, light-skinned Kelvin.
Yeah. What's up, light-skinned Kelvin?
What's going on, family? Black people. What's going on?
That's Kelvin with the good. That's Kelvin with the good hair.
Yeah, I'm
Oh man. So Kelvin, man, listen, man. Who is Kelvin Abney?
Kelvin Abney, as you stated, born from Southside Jamaica, Queens, New York. Very proud. I carry that flag. A lot of people who are not from that neighborhood just don't understand. Very proud. Attended Morehouse College, as you stated. Graduate from Morehouse with a psychology degree. Ultimately, earned my MBA from Keller Graduate School of Management in Atlanta. And I'm a jack of all trades, man. I love just figuring things out. I've always been like that since I was a child up until now, and that's why I'm in operations for Amazon as an operations manager, and just trying to dig deep to determine what problems there lie and look for solutions to fix those problems. That's who I am, and I love life. I love playing chess. I love sports still to this day. I work out, and I love traveling, and I do what I do. That's all I can say.
That's what's up, man. So Brad saying, what's up?
Yeah, two Calvins.
Two Calvins. Listen, Kelvin, I tell you not a lie. To Steve's inauguration as mayor, I always thought your name was Calvin.
For real? Hey, Didi, check this out. No, listen, I'm talking to the group. My mama thinks my name is Calvin. She named me Kelvin. She told me Calvin.
Yo, I think it's the same thing. I don't know what the big deal is.
I understand.
Let me say this. All those names are knockoffs of Kelvin. Kevin, knockoffs of Kelvin. But Kelvin, let me say this. First of all, thank you for joining us. I also wanted to go to Morehouse. Only thing is they had some type of GPA requirement back then at SAT. But outside of that, I would have gone if it wasn't for that problem. But I just want to say, you've done a lot to really, really kind of empower people as they've grown older. And, we have this thing about middle age. I didn't even realize I was middle age until I did the math. I just really, really thought middle age was like some older person or whatever like that. But what I realize now, and you can speak on this, you feel young, depending on how you take care of yourself. You still relate to younger people. And as a result, but your birth certificate keeps going further and further away from you. So it's like, you kind of in that kind of middle area. But what is the biggest challenge you think it is with people as they get a little older and they get to those mid to late 50s and early 50s? What do you think the challenge is dealing with people as far as their esteem is concerned?
In regards to a great question, in regards to their esteem, I think sometimes people get so caught up in what they're doing and what they're involved in that they kind of lose hope on what their purpose was. So the bottom line is, like, for instance, when we're growing up, right, you felt that you wanted to be a baseball player, or you wanted to go to college, or you wanted to do this, that, and the other. So there was always some level of drive to be able to do those things that you hope to do. I think for middle-aged people, they feel that, okay, I'm at this age right now, I'm raising children, I have this job that I hate or I may love. But based on my assessment, a lot of people don't love their job, and they just get caught into the rigmarole of life, and they kind of forget about themselves. So ultimately, it's really about understanding your position, realizing where you are, realizing what you would like to achieve, come up with goals and a plan in order to achieve those things, and just get started.
Nice.
One day at a time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kelvin, what do you think about a person? Well, like I said, we're talking about people achieving their goals and all of that. You mentioned that. What do you think about people who, let's say, I'm a certain age and I feel as though I have not accomplished enough? All right, because it seems like that is another ribbon that's kind of going through our age group. A lot of people who may have looked around and said, I have not accomplished enough. I'm looking at my friend, I'm looking at my cousin or my friend, I'm looking at someone on TV, and they seem as though they've accomplished so much more than I have. How do you deal with that at this age? You know what I mean? Or how do you find like what's important to yourself? What do you think about that?
Well, accomplishment is all relative. It's based on what you think you accomplish and what you feel is important to you. If you go based on the media, you look at all these stars, rap stars, Jay-Z and so on, or you look at these actors and actresses, if you base your life on those things, you're going to always fail. They have achieved what they achieved based on their level of understanding and so on. You have to understand yourself. And for example, I spoke to a young man in his 40s, and he was content being a janitor. Real talk, and that's always kind of frowned on. Oh, you're a janitor? No, I love my job. I've been at it for 19 years, and I'm very successful. Not only am I doing that job, I'm respected. I'm also doing other things outside that job, and I'm able to, to basically supply for my family, and I go to work on time each day. And if you really think about that, he put things into perspective, because what you think is success is based on what you think, not based on what other people think. So you can't really compare yourself to other people. So I think a lot of people need to step away from comparing themselves to what they see out in the media or what they might hear, and just love themselves for who they are and what they're doing in life.
Right. Light-skinned Kelvin. I had a question. Midlife crisis, is it real?
It's what you consider. It depends. I mean, you can't dispute that you're getting older. Mm-hmm. For a long time I had hair on my head. I had zero gray until like a couple of years ago. I was very athletic. I would play ball and I would compete against people in their 20s or whatever, and I would kill them. And so, but as you get older, you begin to realize that, I'm at that age right now, and people talking about retirement, and then, you don't move like you used to. The family dynamics have changed. You personally have changed. A lot of things that you thought was very important when you were growing up is not as important anymore.
Correct.
And it's all about simplicity in life, at least for me anyway. And so, middle age is real. It really is. But it doesn't mean that it needs to hinder you or stymie you in your position in life. You got to still continue to move forward and enjoy life.
Yeah, but do you think that basically hinders a lot of males? Like, basically, like they just won't accept it very well, and basically it causes. I know a particular person that basically that kind of causes a little bit of depression as a result of that. And I try to explain to him, Father Time is undefeated, and basically we all get old, but the thing is, you got to keep moving. You got to keep doing your thing. But do you see that in a lot of men?
Yeah, I don't see it in a lot, but I do see it in some. Okay. Some people do struggle with getting older and dealing with those challenges. But I think it's important to be able to incorporate yourself with a circle of people who continue to support you. So basically, you got to have a support system. Correct. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you got to believe in you. Regardless, as you stated, you cannot control time. That's one thing we can control. You got to take advantage of every second that we have. And in doing that, you got to wake up in the morning saying, okay, is the glass half empty or half, or half full? So it's based on your perspective and the way that you think. And so if you think positively, thinking like, okay, you know what? I woke up this morning. Despite my age and the things and the struggles that I'm dealing with, I woke up this morning. That's a kickstart into making your day a better day and your life a better life.
Good. I agree 100%. Light-skinned Kelvin.
And also, I think people are first of all healthier now. I mean, when I was a kid, I thought somebody 50 must have looked like they was 100 years old. And now you look at Jamie Foxx is over 50, Jennifer Lopez is over 50. It depends. The only thing I will say is I don't try to walk around acting 20 or looking 20 or whatever. I think that's the thing. Somebody once made this statement, which I love, is celebrate the season you're in. You know what I'm saying? I'm this age. I don't want to be 20 again because I've done that. I've been 30. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to walk around trying to sound like teenagers and things. And I think that's one of the issues because it looks ridiculous. Whenever you hear somebody, you know, older and they try to sound like using the terms of today and all this stuff like that, it just looks ridiculous. I don't know if you ever encountered that, but I do, and it looks horrible to me.
Yeah.
I have personally, you know, I used to be a critic of, you know, older men where, or older people in general, where they still try to wear the fashion of people who are like in their teens and 20s, and they just look absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, yeah, you need to embrace who you are and your age and respect that it is what it is, and just live life, man. Just chill out, enjoy. And a case in point, you know, again, begin to get gray hair. You know, initially when I began to grow my gray goatee, man, I was like, because always, you know, was clean shaven. I love my joint. I love my joint now, you know, because it's me, you know. So
yeah, it's who you are.
I know we had a couple of comments. I just want to say, Jamie, can you bring? I think Brad had a comment. A few people had some comments. I want to make sure we talk to the audience.
If you feel like you're missing out on a few certain things, you can still participate in them now. Maybe at a different speed, and all the other things you've done are not wasted, simply experienced. That's pretty deep, man.
Good
you
point.
know? Yeah, I appreciate the confidence and self-esteem I have now in my 40s that I didn't have in my 20s. Yeah, absolutely. It's weird to be old and sexy at the same time. All right. I can't stand when guys my age, my son's age, hit on me and act like the age difference is not an issue. Creepy. Hey, you know, fellas, man, we're hunters, man. We're natural hunters. You know? Right, so I stay young, I stay no cap. Hey, Kelvin, we gotta get some new slang, man. Get some young people slang, man.
Kelvin, how do people deal? Like, we all middle-aged people, right? Men like that, and somehow middle-aged people are still looking for relationships, lasting relationships, and a lot of people bring in some of that old baggage. People say baggage or that toxic stuff into the relationship. Like, it's kind of hard for people to meet people because a lot of people have a lot of toxic stuff in their past. How do you think to tell people our age to deal with a person that might have some of that baggage, but they're in love with that person and they can see the potential, but they want to see how can they help that person shake that baggage off?
Well, first off, it starts with transparency. You have to be upfront. You have to put everything on the table. You know, there's no time for games. There's no time for lies. There's no time for deception. You know, you have to be honest with yourself and with the other person, and with hopes of them doing the same. And you got to discuss those things and be honest about them. And as a person in a relationship or a potential relationship, you got to determine if it's going to work for you. So you got to be honest with yourself first, because so many times, you know, you might connect with someone and you might believe that, hey, this is the person that I want to be with. But you got to be sure that you can create your boundaries and be sure that they meet every criteria that you feel that is essential for you to have a successful relationship with them. That's where it starts. So it starts with honesty, and transparency. That's the first start.
Okay.
But no future in front, you know.
What is that?
There's no future in front, and that's what
no future in front. It's just I feel bad for a lot of the women. I like, you know, I mean, a lot of guys, man, they bring in a lot of childhood drama into trying to be grown men with the drama, and they never face it as a child. So it's like it's kind of hard. I got a lot of female friends that good women, they just can't find good guys. I mean, they got good guys, but the guys don't see the good in themselves because they got a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of brokenness, and I think there's a lot of things. You know, some people haven't grown up, and people's maturation process is different. And that's what I like what you do, Kelvin, is at least let people know. Listen, you getting older is not a death sentence. You know what I mean? I remember one time a lady was like, you know, she wanted to be a doctor, but she's like, I'm 40. You know, I'm about to be 40. And somebody's like, you're going to be 40 anyway. You might as well go after trying to do what you want to do. I mean, at the end of the day, go for it. Because, I mean, as long you don't know how much time, how much road you got in front of you. You know what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, because to me, that's what gets you up in the morning. Challenges, going after things, having aspiration. You know what I mean? And so there's certain things I look at now. Yeah, I mean, you're right, Kelvin. There's certain things that aren't as important to me. Cars aren't as important to me as they were when I was 20 years old.
That's
I mean, people like, oh, I know a lot of grown men, and I'm not knocking them, that's into video games and sneakers. It means nothing to me. I got a car. I don't care what sneakers I got. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just, hey, life changes. But whatever you find, solace in, go for it. But the main thing is that you go for something, and that's kind of what I like, that you've dedicated it to people. At this age that may have given up, because sometimes it is, you're offering somebody a jump start. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I want to work on getting in shape. I've never actually been in great shape. So I want to see, you know what I'm saying? I see you look like you all swole up. I'm swole up on the inside. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to work it out. You know what I'm saying? But I plan to get there, and that's a goal of mine. You see what I'm saying?
And you're 100% correct, my brother. Coming out of Southside Jamaica, Queens, first off, beautiful neighborhood, beautiful. I mean, just absolutely. You think we were living down south based on the environment?
True.
Until drugs rolled in.
Your drugs fucked us all up there.
Yeah, it jacked us up, and so at that point, it became super crazy. You didn't want to walk down the street. You didn't want to walk, to the boulevard, what have you. And then at that point, you was wondering if you was going to live to achieve 18 years old.
True.
I actually felt that way. And so when I attended high school, I couldn't wait to graduate from high school and then get out of there. And I did. I bounced out. I went down south. I had opportunities to stay in the city, to attend any university. But I wanted to leave New York for several reasons. One, because of the craziness. And secondly, I just wanted a fresh start. And you have to look at it. You have to look at that perspective based on what you just said. You can't just give up on life based on your current circumstances. It is what it is. It's real. It hurts or it might feel great. It depends on how you're feeling. But at the end of the day, there's always hope. So it's based on your mindset. So if you wake up and make your mind up and say, listen, you know what? Today's going to be a better day. That's where it starts. Then at that point, you got to determine what your goals are. Create a plan to achieve those goals and just start working at it. I don't care if it's at a snail pace. If you believe in what you're trying to achieve, you can do it. It doesn't matter what you went through. It doesn't matter what your current conditions are. You can actually achieve those things. So to your point, brother, you're 100% correct.
Kev, I'm going to ask you a question about in your story about relationship, part of your story. Can you touch on that?
Yeah, relationships are critically important. It depends on what you mean by that. One being, I believe in support systems. And having support systems in life are critically important. My initial support system was with my family, with my mom, single family, single mom. I didn't have my dad around, and I had my brothers and sisters. And so I had that initial support system, and then venturing out, doing things outside of where I was raised. I began to develop additional relationships with friends that I attended college with. And then through, my fraternity and other organizations that I became a part of, I thought it was critical to develop those relationships that created that support system based on the needs that you have. Everybody's support system is unique. And for me, with having it allows you to have some level of sustainability depending on what you're dealing with, good or bad, in order to project you to where you try to achieve. Without a support system in life, it's very difficult. And I think a lot of people deal with those circumstances. And that's why you have, a lot of people committing suicide. You have people dealing with a lot of anxiety issues leading into depression and things of that nature because they don't have that support system. And not to say that won't happen even if you have that support system, but having a support system can kind of lead you out the way and help you venture into, brighter days.
You're right, Melvin. We saw that comment, Melvin. You're right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rodney.
They lost? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry to interject. The Knicks lost?
The Knicks lost.
They lost 103 to 89.
It's a wrap, man. Well, listen, we were happy.
We got Brooklyn still.
Fuck Brooklyn. Hey, Kelvin. They just came across the water. Kelvin. There's a few people on this podcast that didn't believe in my Knicks. When I saw them in the first game in in training camp. In the preseason. I'm not gonna say no names, but it's not me. It's three other people here that it wasn't what I would say. I was always rooting for. I was happy to make the playoffs.
I think D is absolutely right. I just don't know if tonight is the best timing for that statement.
Yeah. or doing this interview. But I wanted to ask you a question, Kelvin. Along with relationships too. I know you said transparency in relationships, and I'm talking about relationships, with wives, girlfriends, stuff like that. Transparency and side chicks and transparency, honesty. I always kind of notice too. I think maturity also is a huge factor in relationships. I think that basically, you have to find somebody that's on your same level. You know what I'm saying? Do you find that to be true?
Yes, I do. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't care how bad she look, how smart she is, how much money she has. She's not right here with you.
Yeah,
it's going to be a problem.
Typically,
you got to be able to coexist. You got to be able to relate. You got to ultimately be able to support each other's needs. And so it's got to be a balance in every relationship, I believe. And if that person's not meeting your needs, they might meet your needs here, if you know what I mean. But they don't meet your needs here in another aspects of your life.
Wait,
and you're right.
When you said meet your needs here, shouldn't it be a little lower? Like when you had your hand?
Yeah.
Hey, the words that come out of Rodney, these views are from Rodney.
I didn't say nothing. I asked the man a question.
Listen, I can keep it raw now. I can be raw. I could be wrong, but I'm very honest. But it just can't be, one or two things, and don't get me wrong, every relationship is not going to be perfect, no. But it's got to be a good balance where those needs are met on both sides.
Yeah.
Kelvin, what you said right. It's like the needs people don't understand. Like people think when some people say needs, they think financial needs. No, it's emotional needs. Listen and be heard needs. Those kind of things, the little thing needs. I think people get them mixed up with the money aspect of like when somebody says needs. And Lisa, yes, we saw the Yankees still win. That's right. We still got one New York team doing well.
Yeah. The thing is, money don't always stay. Money comes and goes. If your relationship based on money, you ain't got a strong relationship at all.
Go ahead, Kelvin. I'm gonna say Brad comment, but go ahead. After you comment, I'm gonna bring Brad comment back up. Go ahead, Kelvin.
Yeah, I agree with you. I made a lot of money in my lifetime, and I lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
And money's all relative. It comes and goes. You can't take it with you to the grave. But what's golden to me, what is the most important aspect for me in life, and you can't put it's just too rich to be having that person that's going to be able and hold you down. That person that's going to hold you down, that can relate to you, that love you and respect you, that can understand you. I'd rather live in a hut versus have $1 million and be with the wrong one.
Correct.
Oh, if you are a giver, the worst thing you could do is find yourself with a taker. Correct. That is a terrible combination.
You become an enabler. And you get in those codependent relationships.
Listen, you're talking to two dudes, Rodney and myself, that went through some hardcore divorces, and I'd rather lived on. We slept on couches, lived with other relatives than to stay in that.
Whoa! Don't make it seem like we lived on the couch together. We didn't do that. I gotta watch your ass.
We're not Bert and Ernie.
Okay, no, we're not Bert and Ernie. We lived on couches separately in separate places.
Right. Somebody got some question right there.
Yeah, Quilla asked a question. How important is it to have a common love language in a relationship? What do you think?
Love language is important. I forget all the love languages, so don't get me wrong. But there are definitely some love language needs. Some are based on service, level of service, based on my remembrance. I forget the whole love language thing, but I've read about it, and it's critically important. And I think that you got to understand your mate. Yeah. You got to understand your mate. What makes them tick? What turns them on? What turns them off?
You need to know the offs more than the ons.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, sometimes, for instance, back in my day, I was kind of rah-rah, and my mate didn't really respond to that so well. I had to learn how to pull back and respect that they didn't respond well to that, and then how to approach that person in a more loving way. And believe it or not, I got more results that way. So you got to kind of understand it's not always based on, this is the way it is, this is the way we're going to do it, this is the way I've been taught, and I'm the man. Nah, it doesn't quite work like that. A real man, in my opinion, is being able, and it's the same thing for women, a real woman too. You got to understand your mate, understand what motivates them, understand what makes them tick, understand what pisses them off. And then making those adjustments. Have you ever been like on a skateboard, and you just don't get on the skateboard and you're just riding down the street and it's all the same? No, you want to hit a pothole here. You got to know how to maneuver. You're driving your car on the Van Bush Expressway. You got to know how to maneuver around those potholes. You got to be adaptable. That's just the bottom line. But you got to also be perceptive. You got to understand and sit back and listen. Keep your mouth shut, listen, try to seek understanding before you promote action.
Well, and then also you got to implement the one thing that I learned in life. There's two things you cannot tell a woman. One is a lie. The other is the truth. And once you learn that right there, then you are fine. You are fine. That was a joke, lady. That was a joke, lady. That was a joke.
Listen, I want to tell our listeners that we're going to probably extend it 10 minutes over the time tonight, because we're having some great conversation between Brittany and Kelvin tonight. Yeah. So I just want to make sure that Jamie, can you do me one thing? Can you bring up, I think there's a question I saw from Brad a few ticks back. Yes, that's it right there.
A wise mentor once told me, remember the 3 S's: survival, success, and significance. A lot of us come from environments where survival takes priority. That's only a small part of the equation. That's a good point. Very good point. Kelvin, really quick question though. So you're middle-aged, we're all middle-aged, and you got middle-aged singles watching. Where do they go to find their ideal mate? Whatever that means. If it means marriage, if it just means jump off on the weekends, I don't know. What do you do? How do you get that? How do you reach that goal? Of your ideal mate. What do you do? What's on the line for that?
Number one is just understanding yourself and what you need. That's the first thing before you jump out there, because you go based on, you got to go to church, or you got to go hang out at the bar and all that stuff like that. That's all old school and it's all mythical, but you got to understand yourself first and what your needs are. That's the number one priority. Because if you do not, then you're not going to find who you need, because you don't understand yourself. So understand who you are, get yourself together, get your foundation right, determine what your needs are. Like for instance, some people might, really want a marriage. Some people might want a relationship and they're good with that. I've seen both work. Yeah. So you got to determine what you really need first. And then secondly, obviously you want to go ahead and engage in social events, and the right social events. I mean, you go to the booty club and get it in, do what you go. If that's you, that's you, but you got to make sure that you put yourself.
Don't say nothing, D. She want to say something.
Wrong time.
No, I'm not going to put my finger like that. I'm going to go like this.
Right? Long time. I have to make it rain.
Right. Long time. You got to position yourself for success. So ultimately, it's like anything else. You want to work hard and get that promotion. You do what it takes to get that promotion. You position yourself. You want to buy a house. You save your money. You get your credit right. You do what you have to do to position yourself. You want to work out. I don't care how big you are. You got to start. It starts here. I want to do better. Yep. Then you come up with action plans to do it. I don't care. Once again, if it's at a very snail pace. It's about consistency and that drive to do better each day. And so that's the same thing in relationships. Position yourself. Number one, determining what your needs are, knowing yourself. Secondly, I neglected to mention, if you're going through some drama, you got to heal. You have to heal. You cannot create a relationship or a new relationship with anybody if you haven't healed from the past. You got to fix that first. You got to fix that. Whatever it is, fix it. Then at that point, determine what your needs are. Then you begin to position yourself to get those things that you're looking for. I'm not saying you got to flag out, I'm single, I need somebody. No. Just put yourself in those environments that's going to make you successful in finding what you need.
Kelvin, that's very true, because like I said, broken children become hurt men. So one question real quick. How important is it for good physical health for yourself and happiness with good physical health?
Physical? You said physical, like working out?
Yeah, working out. How's it building fit to your happiness?
For me, I love it. I love working out. I love looking good. And I love feeling good as well. You know, so when I don't physically feel well, or if I look kind of crazy and I look myself in the mirror, I'm like, you know, I got to get it together. You're not going to have the level of confidence that you would as if it was different, like, you know, you're on your peak. You know, so for me personally, I'm 54 years old, just turned 54 April 20th.
Happy belated birthday, brother. 420? 420 was your birthday? April
20th.
Oh,
yes.
Man, that's a good day.
yeah, for a whole bunch of things, right? right. But
me and Rod are just saying.
Yeah.
I didn't say nothing.
Yeah, I don't partake, but I get you. But I've always been into physical fitness since I was a kid. I mean, I don't know, Didi, if y'all remind, you know, you always played ball.
Oh, you was always in good shape. This motherfucker walk around with a shirt off back when we were kids. I had man titties when I was small. Come on,
hey, Didi, listen. Hey, Didi, but I'm gonna bump for you, Didi. Hey, Didi, I'm gonna bump for you. Nobody messes with you though. Nobody messes with you though, Didi.
I know that's true.
Nobody messes with you, boy.
Yo, Kelvin, who do they say you look like? Because I just realized who you look like. I was trying to put it together. Who do people say you look like?
Why you gonna put him in a spot like that? They gonna look like LL, or he looks like me because I'm older than he is. Shit, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I got Gary Sheffield and I got Iverson.
I can see a little Iverson. I can see Gary Sheffield though.
I see AI.
I don't see AI. I see Gary Sheffield. But I don't see AI.
Well, can I get you transfer some of that money into my account?
Oh, we gotta get your top 5 though.
Your top 5. Yeah. Before you go, who's your top 5 MCs of all time, bro?
Oh man, y'all gonna take it there with me. Oh man, Biggie, love Biggie. Yeah, Biggie was super versatile, man. I mean, he was just nasty, right? But to be honest, my number one joint, Nas. Nas is nasty. Yeah. I mean, you have to sit back. I don't care if you into this or this or this. Sit back and listen to his joints. And I'm from old school now, 54. Nas is ridiculous.
Yeah. So only album I didn't like the one he did with Kanye West.
Kanye West is cool.
The Nas album produced by Kanye West was trash. Man.
Oh yeah. I didn't quite. That wasn't my favorite by no means. I don't know. You know, as you know, with production, because I play music as well. There's a lot of things behind the scene. You know, so but obviously they're going to put the stars in a highlight with the names and things like that. But
we got 3 more to go, bro. 3 more we got.
Oh, 3 more, man. You're gonna put me on the spot. All right, so yeah, you got Nas, you got Jay-Z.
We got 2 now, down to 2.
Let's see, Jay-Z, yeah. Believe it or not, man, I gotta go West Coast on this one.
MC Hammer.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Don't sleep. You know, I like this dude. Ice Cube is pretty tight.
No, Ice Cube is good.
Ice Cube is pretty tight. You know, I mean, you know, there's some things, you know, I would have changed his rhymes up on, whatever, but he's pretty tight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When he left NWA, he was tight.
Yeah. And MC Light is funky.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I have to throw a woman up in there because she's dope.
She's dope. She's
MC Light was dope.
Yeah, she was dope. She was dope.
I believe she's the greatest female rapper ever.
Ever.
Yeah. So Kelvin, before you go, what you want to say to how can people find you? Where to follow you at, or your Instagram, Facebook, or and talk about your blog, or anything.
Yeah, I'm on all those things. I'm at www.kelvin KELVIN Abney ABNEY.com. www.kelvinabney.com. And I talk about a myriad of different topics, let it be from physical, mental, or spiritual health. I just keep it real, and everything I say comes straight from my heart. It is either from my personal experience or people that I spoke to. And the bottom line is that I just want to encourage people to not give up on life. I know life is hard. We're dealing with a lot. We're trying to balance so many different things, from family to maybe death from COVID to a job loss to a breakup. It doesn't stop. Only you can determine if you want it to stop or not. And I don't think you've been placed on this planet for it to happen that way. So you got to get out that cave, do what you got to do positively now, right? And come back into the light and wake up and start day one on creating a plan. There's always day one, in my opinion. It's always day one. So that's my purpose. I think that, I was gifted to do that. I always talk to people. I want to try to encourage them to see a brighter day. I've been also gifted with that from other people when I had my had downtimes. And that's the purpose of my blog. That's me in the general. I'm super cool. That's just me. And just love life. That's just the bottom line. And then ultimately, I would like to thank each and every one of you guys to have me on this podcast. I'm very thankful. I would like to eventually write a book and then do bigger and better things. And this is just a stepping stone in the right direction. I'm very thankful and humble for the opportunity.
Thank you, my brother. You're a brilliant man with a brilliant name. I stand by.
Oh my God!
It ain't Kelvin, it's Kelvin.
That's right.
Man, look at this. We got the privilege of having two Kelvins, light skin and dark skin Kelvin. We got the light skin one, man, like Michael Jackson. Got the dark skin one, just like Michael Jackson. Listen, brother, I love you, man. We got to get up, man. I'm glad that you're in the area, back in the area, man. So we go hang out. I know Jamie's coming up at the end of the month, so you got to rock out with us, man, when we go out on the town.
No doubt. You already know how we do. Rockaway crew.
That's right, baby. That's right. Southside, we outside. All right, man. Love you, man. Peace, man. Tell your brother what's up, man.
All right. Peace. All right. Take care, bro.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. Oh man, we getting some smoke tonight, man. This is some good topics tonight. Good guests we having on tonight, man. Yeah. We talking about so we talking about relationships in the last thing with light skin Kelvin. Withholding sex in a relationship. Anybody want to jump on that?
That's a bad idea.
I'm gonna drink
this. That's a bad idea. That's never I think that's unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, if we're talking about somebody withholding sex because there was some outside interference or whatever, now you're dealing with somebody that's probably hurt or whatever. But just as a punishment, I say absolutely not. Me and my wife cannot be speaking. Text me and I'll be upstairs. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta talk. Just text me. I'm coming up. You know what I'm saying? But no, I think that's a very big problem. If somebody trains the other mate that if you do something wrong or something I don't like, I'm going to withhold sex from you. I think that's very bad.
It's against the vows. That says to have. That's and so as a result, I don't think leveraging people is ever good. Just leveraging something or whatever as a punishment. You know what I mean? You're on the same side even when you disagree. I remember one time performing a wedding. And I never forget, this girl wrote her own vows, and I really was impressed by it. She said, "I will respect you even in disagreement."
That's
and
right.
I think that's very, very important. I think it's very, very important, and people have kind of weaponized sex and things like that and used it, and they passed it on to younger women to try to, this would make him do this to get that and things like that. And I agree with you, Rod. I just don't think, especially in the context of marriage, I think that's foul either way to do that. You know what I'm saying? You're just withholding somebody just because you want to kind of get them you know, if you remember, if you guys ever read the story of Liz Estrada back in the day, where the women stopped sleeping with the guys just to stop them from having war, it's so powerful and so potent. It's really an unfair edge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think that's
sex
holding
sex
the
very
coochie
powerful.
hostage.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Man, you know,
That's not cool.
yeah, man, ain't nothing better than that makeup, you know, thing, you know. That's come on now, you know what I mean? You can't be withholding like that. You gotta let it go, man. Sometimes, you know, let things go,
just
man.
gotta let it go.
Yeah, that's right. You know what I
That's
mean?
another love TKO.
That's right.
And you know,
Right.
here go the bullshit though. When they be upset with you, right? They be mad at you, but they be like this on the bed with you. They put it on your ass.
Oh yeah.
They mad, but they like,
Yeah.
How much you are you, man? My wife gonna do something, man. I'm telling you, man. She gonna put a leg on me, something, a booty in there somewhere, brother. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And when they push right into you, I push right back.
That's right. Argument done.
I push right on back.
oh man,
you want to make up, huh?
Yo, I'm gonna tell you something. I like Wednesday nights. I'm just telling you right now.
Yeah,
I like Wednesday nights.
We bringing it tonight for our first one. We bringing it tonight.
Right.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about sex, Dwayne Wade's child. I'm not gonna call a boy or girl. I don't know what to say because I don't want to get messed up with the letter people. Anyhow, so recently, his son, daughter. I don't know. There you go, Jamie. Right? Jamie. That's enough. Yeah. So anyhow, for me, there's a lot of controversy dealing with this young man, young child, with his sexuality. To me, my problem with the whole thing is I don't care like if you want to be if you're gay or whatever. My thing is I think it's a double standard because of who he is. I think if it was a young girl over sexualized, like they was having dresses, doing sexy poses. This was the same 12-year-old girl. What people have to say, what people would probably react like, oh, that's messed up. But since it's a boy that's transgender, whatever it is, they just like cut them some slack. But if this is somebody's daughter, they'd be all over them.
Yeah,
I
agree with you. I mean, and I agree with this double standard. You know, I think, but part of what they're going through now is, and I'm just as an outside observer, is just dealing with how they see themselves and not so much thinking about larger societal standards. I don't listen. I'm not gonna get into how Dwayne Wade feels about it or anything like that. You know what I mean? I'm sure he's had his, quite a few come to Jesus moments over it. You know what I mean? And just thought about it. But at the end of the day, he has to be a father and he's got to show love to his child. And I think he's doing it the best way he can do it. But I think that I would like, and I don't know that he hasn't done this, but I would like to see these children just hold off on the sexual identity stuff for a little while. You know what I mean? You haven't had an opportunity to feel your young budding manhood. It seems like it was almost like nipped in the bud, and before the child got an opportunity to fully understand himself at the time. So that's just my thought on it.
Yeah.
Well,
go ahead, Kelvin.
I'm sorry, Rod. This is my stance on it. I've raised my nieces and nephew, and I haven't had children of my own, but raising them, there are certain things that I will determine or dictate while you're in that process of being raised. So if I was in the situation he's in, I'm not buying my son a dress, period. I'm not doing that. Now that's just it. I'm not buying you a dress. Now, when you do wear one, or if you wear one, which should be your right, it will be when you don't live here, and it will be when you're a grown person. But I am not buying you a dress. Mm-hmm. I'm not buying you nail polish. I'm not doing that stuff. That's not going to happen. And I don't really, I didn't have those parents to be like, oh, I'm going to call your aunt for advice for your uncle. No, my parents determined it. They didn't need no outside help. You know what I'm saying?
Brad is
and that's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I feel about it. Brad be making me laugh. I'm sorry.
That's funny, Brad. That's funny.
You don't get me messed up.
I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to. Please let the people don't come after us. We just bringing us a conversation.
Go after D and Brad.
But no, the thing is, like, seriously, it's just like I don't the kid, like you said. For me, the child will wait for a certain age to be like that. You could be gay. You be like Rodney. You're not told. I think people are born gay.
People are born gay.
But like once you get 18, you do all that stuff. But the Mom Pearson and Rodney Mitchell money ain't gonna be buying these things. I'm just not gonna do it. And the thing is, like, you know, and go ahead, Rodney. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you because I think you're gonna say what I'm about to say. But go ahead.
No, the thing is, like, I'm gonna piggyback off what you and Kelvin said, right? You know, first of all, like, how old is Dwayne Wade's son now?
12.
He's 12, right? Now, I'm an experienced father. I got more kids than a kindergarten class. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is this. I've learned at 12 years old, and I got two 14-year-old girls in here, you know, 17-year-old boy. I got a 22-year-old. I got a little bit of everything, and I've seen it all. So the thing is, it's like I realize about raising kids is that certain things I see my kids do young, it's not defining them. Like, it's not who they're going to be. You know what I'm saying? So if I allow certain decisions to be made by a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, and then I supported a wrong decision, then basically I'm making a wrong decision right. And I'm not saying that Dwayne Wade's son is not gay. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the support, I think, is too entirely early. That's my issue with it. It's like Kelvin said, I'm not going to buy my son a dress at 14-year-old. My son wants to wear a dress when he's 25, 27 years old, 28 years old, and he bought it or whatever. And that's my son. I'm going to love him to death. I love my son or whatever. But the bottom line is I'm not going to buy you a dress at 12 years old because, in my opinion, from my experience, you are not fully developed yet to make that decision. Right. Like I said, I remember when my son was young, he kept picking up girl dolls. But that's not the way he turned out. You know what I'm saying? So what if I had started buying him girl dolls when he was little and whatever? And he's like, well, my father thinks this is all right, so I guess this must be okay. But that's my point that there, like I said, I'm not saying Dwayne Wade's son's not gay. I'm just saying I think it's entirely too early for them to be pushing this so hard.
Right.
Go ahead. Go ahead, D.
No, I was saying, you saying, we're saying about the buying of stuff. And also it was like, you know, it's a double standard. Could your child, like, you know, my daughter or son could not come home and have sex in my house. Certain things you just can't do. Certain things you just can't do under my roof. Like, you know, like people say, oh, you know, get the kid has a right. Yeah, they have a right, but not. I still have the dictatorship of this shit. I'm gonna let you say some shit, but we gonna talk about it. But at the end of the day, I make the final decision.
Correct.
And I think, you know, that thing just can't rock out. You just can't come home. You got to sneak and have sex. You got to be like us. We have to sneak and have some sex. You know, you gonna learn new skills. That
was some of the best of our time at the moment, man. It's like forbidden fruit, right? You know.
Yeah. Like I said, you're gonna be who you're gonna be when you get older. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, and then that person,
you got plenty of time to get older.
And you got, it's like I tell my kids, God willing, you will be an adult longer than you will be a child. Right. You have plenty of time to make your own decisions.
And you have to put them on the right path to adulthood too. You know what I mean? It has to be a strong, straight path, man. You just can't just acquiesce to every little fad or whatever is going on. You know?
And another thing I tell people all the time, having worked with young people myself, you can't just vacillate between when you want to be an adult or not. Like you an adult at the party, but you're a child at the precinct.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Something go wrong, call my mother. But other than that, you grown. So now you're gonna, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna play it down the middle one way.
I've seen that a lot at work. I've seen guys, they talking all that mouth, running all that mouth, and then when all of a sudden things go bad, they want to resort back to being a child.
Now, Masali makes a very good point, and the truth, and I can answer very simple. In that, you're not supported. I can't front. Now, what it is, my support is you sit down at the table, you got something to eat. That's as far as my support goes. It is not as far, you know. And the same thing when, like, this guy was in the Target looking for clothes for his 6-year-old, and he buys something. The mother like, no, that's not his style. He's like, he ain't got no style. He got whatever I buy him. That's his style.
Yeah. No, the thing is, I get the identity thing. You know, like I said, I got a lot of kids. The bottom line is, yeah, each and one of my kids, they go through an identity issue. They go through this period of finding themselves. And like I told you, they're trying to figure it out. But there's certain things you cannot support because some of those things are adult decisions, and they have to be adults to make those decisions.
Right. Yeah, like if the first time my kid is going through an identity crisis, I feel like being a crackhead. I'm not letting you be a crackhead.
Correct. I'm not going to let you be a crackhead. I'm not going to bring crack home for you. I'm not going to say, hey, I got you some crack today. You know what I'm saying?
Sexual preference. Yeah, give a kid telling adults of sexual preference. Yeah. You're right. You know, they need to. You know, it's ridiculous, man.
And the thing is, I'm not being one way. I'm not being one way. The thing is, it's like with my son. Like if my son was 12 or 13 years old, it's like D said, you can't come home and have sex with girls in my house. You know what I'm saying? So it's both ways.
If they were gay, no boys,
whatever. Yeah, you can't do it no matter you're straight, gay, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're too young to be making those decisions. Period.
Right.
That's why there's parents and that's why there's children.
Yep. So I'm gonna go to one more thing. As Brad, real quick, this is gonna lead me into what Bradley said about Dwayne Wade. Can you put it up, Sam? And this is gonna lead me to my next I'm segueing off to. Gabrielle Union is the boss in the relationship. Glad you said that, Brad, because that's what Dwayne Wade just said recently.
That's what Dwayne Wade did say.
She wears the pants in that household, so you know.
Wait, did he say that he does not lead, or did he say that she is the boss?
She does. He does. She leads, or some shit like that. Right?
She leads. She leads.
He said that she leads, not him.
She leads. Correct. She leads in this relationship. Does it? Does it have? Maybe it has something to do when he cheated too. Maybe that's how she became the boss.
Yeah. And then somebody said, I think Nikki Lewis has said, can you bring that up? Yeah. Yep. I agree. Give him therapy, or I mean, just them walking through. Now, we're not saying. Let's get it straight, people. We're not saying being gay is wrong. We all have gay relatives. We have gay friends. We're thinking like the age of this child to make sure they know what they're doing to make this decision is so young. One time they talking about cutting off this young man's penis. I mean, young child's penis. I want to stop saying man. I'm trying to work on that. I'm working on it. Right. So I know people saying the girl, the pronouns and all stuff like that. And I think that was so wrong. He was 11 at that time. Now we're talking about 12.
D, to me, this is very simple. Before you're an adult, I'm gonna make the decisions for you. Some decisions you ain't got to worry about. I'm gonna make them for you. That's it. You may say, you know what? I'm 8 years old and I just want to eat. I want to eat donuts for breakfast. No, you're not. You're gonna eat what you're supposed to eat for breakfast, and I'm gonna make sure you know why? Because you're not mature enough to make the decision for you. So I'm going to make it for you. And that's why I'm responsible for you. That's why if I treated you wrong, somebody's going to come in and see me about it because I'm responsible for you. And that's it. So that's the bottom line.
I think their wealth and their fame kind of allows them to live this sort of insulated reality where, you know, they just kind of separate from the common sense of the masses, man.
No, I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. I remember Dwayne Wade with them capri pants on. So I'm just
somebody told him right. Somebody told him that was a good. Yeah. Oh God.
Oh, I don't know what Kelvin said, but he about to get the Sammy Jammy.
Me?
Right. Yeah. Well,
he look a little left-handed.
He was grown with the capri set pants. I'm blaming him. Like
I know. I was with you, Kelvin.
I'm like, don't let this money gas you.
And like little Boosie said, like Brad said, come on, man, don't cut his dick off, man. Come on, man.
Yo, you know what's funny? I gotta admit, somebody said I was mean. The other day, I didn't know it was like that. I thought I was the nice.
Hey, we gotta have Monique in there. Monique says she leads in the relationships, and but it comes to, unless it comes to final decision.
I'll be honest with you. You know what, Monique? When they stole a Red Bull machine, they took a lot out of me. That's
wow. Now he's saying you're a bigot.
Yo, maybe they talking about the light skin Kelvin. Maybe they talking about the light skin Kelvin. Yeah. Maybe they talking about the light skin.
Oh man, this will be over time. I'm gonna go ahead, Rob. This comment.
I'm just saying. I want to clarify something too, right? Like, I know married couples where sometimes the woman leads or whatever, and then I say that there's certain marriages where I say yes, she should be leading because he don't have the skills to lead. That works for them. You know what I'm saying? If that works for you and she's getting the job done or whatever, so be it. That's the way it works. That's about companionship and working together, But I mean, I kind of think maybe Dwayne Wade maybe have forfeited his leadership as a result of trying to stay in good graces. And I've seen that before too.
On the top of
Monique, I'm your brother.
Yeah.
and since we're on the top of a few feminine things, Little Yachty, actually, I don't know how you pronounce the goddamn boy name. He got his own nail polish about to come out.
See,
Yeah,
y'all make me.
do we have any pictures?
The mean one.
Is there a video for that? Is there a video for that?
Do we have a picture of the nails? Do we have anything, Jamie?
Right now, you're looking at the future of nail polish. You see? It's called Creep. You're getting a good look at innovation here. This is a pen, like a polish pen. So you take the top off, press down on it, and it dispenses a brush. If you find painting your nails as a way to show your creative side, or it's an aesthetic that fits you, you shouldn't be judged for it, you know? But a lot of people do get judged for it, so that's why these will like change the narrative. The only thing that matters is what you think to yourself, you know? Outside opinion shouldn't have an effect on your aesthetic or whatever you decide to do. This is a slogan. For you, not them.
I like that. It's fun. That niggas be sitting at the desk. Be sitting at the round table.
That's the slogan. It's right there, see? It's Creep. For you, not them.
This dude got beads in his hair like he's 12 years old. My 12-year-old female girl, man. You know, but you know what the funny thing, I know what I thought about as I was watching that. When I was younger, I had an older uncle, man. I used to do a lot of construction work with, you know what I mean? He's, you know, he gave me my first, you know, one of my first real pay jobs, you know, paid us in cash, overworked us and underpaid us, right? But back then I used to wear, you know, an earring, you know, a little stud on the left-hand side of your face. You know what I mean? If you wore it on the right, you were gay, so to speak. But if you wore it on the left,
I remember that.
Back,
Yeah, I remember
right.
that.
And he used to say, boy, all the time, he used to give us hell. He used to give me hell over it, man. You know, he'd say, oh, you're like a little girl. You know, whatever that. And I'm like, okay, you know, and I'm just thinking, you know, all right, you know, he's an older guy. He's not with the times or whatever. I'm sure that somewhere along the line, little Yaxi or Yachty or whoever he is now, you want a Yaxi, whatever his name is, he's probably thinking the same thing of me, man. If I come around and say, listen, you know, why are you wearing nail polish? You know, he might be looking at me like, you know, Derik, you are not with the times. And you know what? I guess I am not, you know, because I can't get with that, you know. But, you know, you got A-Rod out here giving up makeup, doing makeup. So, you know, it's I guess, I don't know if this is a thing, a trend, or what if this is. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to fall back, figure this out. Somebody else got something to say. I don't know. That's all I got.
I guess I'm gonna just have to be the mean one. I might as well embrace it. I can't run.
Go get him, Kelvin.
No, I'm just be honest with you. It's just you know what it is. The game has passed me by. It just is, and don't blame me. Blame the 70s. I'm sorry. It's just I just came along. I just came at a different time. That's all. And I just think that's some foolishness. I just think this whole, you know, metrosexual or whatever, blending it. I think, you know, while people are fighting for an identity, I think at the same time people are saying that other people that don't share that same ideology, that you're wrong. I mean, I just think that's the bottom line. And to me, you know, to just redefine, you know, next year somebody will, well, why can't men wear high heels or whatever? Like at the end of the day, you know, everybody wants to just kind of reinvent everything. And yeah, you have a right to do it if you want. That's your preference. Understand also those of us that it's not ours. Respect that as well. That's it. But no, I'm not into men wearing nail polish. That's just it. And I don't care if it got gold trimming in it. It doesn't matter. It's just not my thing. And now, don't get me wrong. But see, I guess I'm old school. I never wore earrings. I never, you know, whatever. So, you know, I remember that when dudes used to blitz on dudes back in the day when they first wore one. And that was like shocking to us. Then it was like dudes wearing two. Like, it's just a different thing and stuff like that. I'll just say this. I feel kind of countercultural, where I just don't move just because the times move.
Yeah, and there are two things. Africans back in the day had earrings, so that's one thing. That's maybe something sometimes we can't help. Right. Africa comes back at us, so that's one thing. We ain't seen no Africans wearing nail polish. Another thing, only person that can wear high heels is Prince. If you can't play all those instruments, sing and get bad chicks, and then drop 30 points on me tonight, you cannot wear high heels.
Down. There you go.
you got to be able to drop 30 on me, sing, and take my woman in the same night. You know, so that ain't gonna happen. And speaking of stuff, we thought verses the other night. We had Timbaland versus.
I don't get a shot. I don't get a shot at your little yachty.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you did. My bad. Go, Brian.
No, I gotta go. Okay. First of all, last time I checked, nail polish has already been invented, right? So nail polish has already been out. So this is, to me, one of those tricks about money. He's taking advantage of the climate and trying to invent something to be a trend so it'll sell. Now we
Yeah.
I do that to come back on you.
It's strong enough for a man and made for a woman.
I told you that was coming. I told you.
So good.
Yeah, but that's what I think it is. I think Mr. Yachty is basically trying to capitalize on the way the climate of the culture is going. It's going extreme. Extreme sells, trying to create new things that nobody's doing, and that's it. Nail polish has already been out. Men ain't been wearing nail polish, so he's trying to sell nail polish. If you notice, he showed women putting it on and men putting it in. It's just about getting the bag. That's all it. But I don't agree with men wearing nail polish either.
Hey, I get my feet done. That's right. I'm about to get them done.
Killing you, boy.
Egyptians wore makeup. And so, yeah, at least got a point. At least got a point. But I'm not wearing no damn makeup now. Damn them Egyptians. They didn't come back and save us when we came over here, so I'm mad at them still. I'm sorry. Back to verses. Verses, yeah, Timberland versus what's the guy's name again?
Swiss Beats.
Swiss Beats. So anybody see your thoughts on that? I mean, Timberland looked bugged out crazy. I don't know if Jamie got any pictures of that joint. That looked crazy.
All right, I'm gonna say this. I really felt like they're producers, and I just don't think they're performers. I think they're producers, and I just think it was like they were trying to perform a little bit of the songs that they produced, and I just think verses may be better off with the performers doing it. And everything I say now, I'm gonna say it with a smile, and
Hey, listen, Timberland look like that old uncle at the barbecue, man. And he look like I still got it. Look at me. Like that's so crazy. That dude bugged out, man. That look bugged out. And last but not least, we got a fight coming up this Sunday. We got what's the guy named Logan? What's his name again? Logan Paul versus Floyd Money Mayweather. Thoughts on that, Rodney? I'm gonna start with you first. You're a big fight fan.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I don't like it. I don't know if you guys, Logan Paul has a 0-1 professional boxing record. So we got Floyd Mayweather, a 50-0 champion, fighting a YouTuber on a pay-per-view event. I'm not into that. You know what I'm saying? So then that's the new thing we do around. Like I said, we basically find somebody with a whole bunch of followers, a whole bunch of people following him on YouTube, and then he fights them. I mean, come on, Floyd. I know you're going to make a lot of money, but I mean, that's not what real boxers do. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I think it's bad for boxing, and for his legacy. But again, and here's the funny thing about it. The question I ask is, does it count as a professional fight? Logan Paul technically has at least one professional fight on the books. Obviously, Floyd Mayweather. Does this count as 52-0? No. If he wins? That's what I'm saying. So I agree. I wouldn't count it. Win or lose, I wouldn't count on his record. You know what I mean? But here's the thing: if he loses, do you think they're going to count it on his record? If he loses,
it's not going to count his record because it's considered an exhibition. That's why.
Okay.
The thing is, too, and Logan Paul's only fight is with another YouTuber. That's his only fight.
But it was a professional fight.
But the thing is this: if Logan Paul was to beat Mayweather, it would damage his legacy because that's what everybody's going to remember. They're not going to remember the 50 victories that he did in his professional career. And I give it to Mayweather. Mayweather was one of the most skilled boxers that I've ever seen in my life. And now you're fighting some guy that's just on YouTube that makes silly videos. I mean,
but his mantra is the money team, so he don't care.
That's what it is. It's about money. Yeah. It's all
about money. And the thing is, and it's about white privilege. You know how many boxing people that could probably really hold it.
They really want to start at Floyd. Oh my God!
Mayweather, but this is white privilege because this guy he's the lane. He's the white boy that can be silly, and when people follow him, and then he gets the opportunity to fight the big champion.
I don't necessarily think that it's white privilege in this instance, at least in regard of him. I think the fact that he's white allowed him to get as many YouTube followers as he has, and it does add a little extra ingredient to it. Because it's boxing, and boxing always has these racial undertones to it, But I don't think so. I think it really is just honestly just a business decision. I don't think Logan Paul has more. He's all the YouTubers. He's number one. He has the most YouTube subscribers of anyone. You know, so it's hard to argue with that. You know what I mean? One more paycheck is like should be like taking money from a baby. You know,
all right.
Easy pay.
Let's go with that. So we got black YouTubers. I can't think of their names right now because Rodney follows a lot. One guy that never worked a day in his job has probably almost the same amount of followers.
Logan Paul, he wouldn't be able to pull it off.
He wouldn't be able to pull it off.
He wouldn't be able to pull it off.
It always falls down to white privilege.
Yeah, white privilege.
But is this other black YouTuber? Is he an athlete? Is other black YouTuber?
No,
it don't matter. You're talking about numbers. I don't care about the athletic ability of him. It's about the numbers. So the poor Logan Paul was in the fight. He was fighting MMA fights. We never heard him fight before. But
it's still boxing, and a lot of it is the dance partner too. You know what I mean? So if Logan Paul is a bigger guy, he's athletic, you know what I mean?
It comes down to privilege. It doesn't come to athletic ability. It's down to privilege.
Basically, he's walking off the couch and getting into the ring with one of the greatest fighters in the world. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And here's a guy, like I said, he has an 0-1 record, and his only fight was with another YouTuber.
Did he win or lose? I don't know. Did he lose?
He lost. No, he lost. Wow. Yeah, that's why he's 0-1. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, in professional boxing, if you were 0-1, could you get in the ring with the champ after losing your first fight? No, you couldn't. You couldn't get in the ring with the champ. You know, you have to work your way up. You have to start making some wins in the column. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But not. I agree 100% with D. It definitely has to do with white privilege.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but anyhow, brothers, this was a good night, man. We way over time. We late. And we have to be in bed by now. Like, I know we got to get up early. So thank you for everybody chiming in, rocking with us tonight, first Wednesday night. Brad, Brad, you're right about that, brother, on that note. And then, I'm glad you guys. We're on Wednesday nights now at 9 p.m. Every Wednesday night. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Like, subscribe, comment. We love the comments tonight. And we have more comments. The good, the bad, the ugly. We take them all. We love them all. So people, thanks for joining us tonight. Wednesdays, baby. And remember, get that merch. Hit us up for the merch. Hit us up. You know what I'm saying? We like to share with the merch with you guys. So peace, everyone. Peace, my brother. Love you guys. Check it out next Wednesday.
Thanks, Melvin.
Yeah.